Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, kings, queens, mighty knights and mages, how is everyone doing tonight? My name is Manny or Sunny, and welcome to some Sunday Night Prophecy Cup. Like I said, my name is Manny or Sunny, but joining me on the cast for tonight will be none other than Gopher Eno, as well as Escapist is going to be the cameraman for the match tonight. How's it going, gentlemen?
It's going all right tonight. We do have the Sentinels versus the Bad Boys here right now in our quarterfinals. There'll be a best of 5, should be in for some good matches. Already see the Shinzao and the Heimerdinger taken off the table.
Yeah, the
pretty interesting.
Go ahead. No, it's you.
Okay, Shinzao, pretty obvious power pick in the jungle right now. Just his ability to dominate the early game and get a pretty sizable lead thanks to his decent snowball potential. Is rather powerful right now. Syndra also taken off the table. There's another jungler band with the Nocturne taken off the table.
As we've seen throughout the last couple patches, especially as we watch Worlds, we saw a lot of jungle dominance. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw a Talia ban either, just to take that away from Kanker Tree. I remember casting him back in week 7 or 8 it was. My first game back week 7. And that man did some disgusting things with those rocks. He just kept throwing another rock and throwing another rock and throwing another rock. But instead, we're going to see an Alistar ban come through right here.
Alistar received some light nerfs a patch or 2 ago to his base health, just to help make him more easily harassable in lane. But he is still pretty dominant along with the other tank supports in lane, just with how the current meta is. That is said to change come the actual preseason patch, not this weird limbo where it's like not season 8, but it's not preseason 9. It's just whatever. But there's the Urgot first pick for the side of the Sentinels.
Ooh. Weishnee picking up a dominant top laner, and I'm curious now, Josai, is he going to default to the Maokai? Because I've seen a lot of the time they try to bully Joe Sidon is the strategy a lot of teams they like to take when they play against Bad Boys, since he generally doesn't play the aggressive top laners. But it looks like he might be picking up Aatrox and try to go toe-to-toe with Urgot.
For sure. Urgot versus Aatrox in matchup we're all familiar with by this point. If you've seen a Worlds match, you've probably seen one or both of them in a match. Could this be no, looks like it's going to be the Camille. Camille just been a really powerful jungle all year, just due to her insane early game gank power, not to mention her ability to take the level 2 skull rather easily. And then, like, of course, the level 2 ganks we all know about. Kink or Retreat will have to make the magic happen. Early on this Camille, though, Camille doesn't exactly have the best jungle clear until she kind of gets her Tiamat. Really relies on getting some ganks off early to get some lead through either kills or just forcing an enemy to go back and let your own laners get ahead through the CS or whatnot. But there's the Gragas locked in for Picholote. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but hey, Pickaxe currently hovering the Xerath.
Oh, my headphones acting funky.
Yeah, gonna be
so. This actually, the Camille pick is kind of interesting to me based on just what I've seen from the side of Bad Boys and what I know about their players. Because I feel like this is, if they lock in the Xerath, it's going to take away for Charlie Smells. The game doesn't matter anyway from that point because he's disgusting with that champion. But I was going to bring up the fact if they took the Camille when Joe Sidon took a season off from Prophecy Cup and just started streaming and grinding, he spent pretty much that whole off season grinding the fuck out of top lane Camille. So honestly, we could see that, see him run that and see the Aatrox get flexed to the mid lane. And that possibility is still open with the fact Sivir getting locked in for T-Crank. A lot of these picks for Bad Boys starting to shape up into some comfort picks. Sivir, Camille, Aatrox, not really, yeah.
Interesting that Sivir is prioritized here. Typically there are some other ADCs that might be given higher priority, like the Draven, who's been kind of taken off the table. That's more of a counter to the Kai'Sa, speaking of which Kai'Sa too. Sometimes we'll see Vayne as a counter to Kai'Sa, and then there's always the Varus. But Sivir is, of course, a good ADC. That's going to be locked in for T-Crank, maybe the side of the Bad Boys just wanting to lock that in for the ADC so he doesn't get banned out and let their mid laner and support get counter picks.
I reckon.
The side of Sentinels is going to use their last 2 bans to go towards Charlie Smells, taking away the Twisted Fate and the Xerath, but a very long, quick lock-in for the side of Bad Boys. Going to pick up that Morgana for our boy Memo. And Morgana really looking strong against the team comp that they've already started to establish for themselves.
Kind of. Yeah, go ahead.
Spell Shield really good against the Tahm Kench, as well as stopping people from getting picked out due to the Gragas. Plus, Morgana Sivir as a bot lane is pretty much gank immune just due to all the spell shielding they have.
Thing is, though, the Morgana's effectiveness for picks, at least, is taken down a notch thanks to that Tom Kinch lock-in for Liquid in 4th, just due to the fact if you land a binding, kind of hard for your team to follow up if the Tom Kinch just gobbles them up. But hey, there's the Victor locked in for the mid lane. Victor did receive some base damage nerfs, but in turn got some scaling buffs this patch. So if you're building full AP on him, that's fine, but losing the base damages will really hurt Victor since he already had an amazing late game. He just wanted like a bit more of an early and mid game to bridge himself towards there, and losing those base damages will obviously hurt. But the Tristana locked in for Collinator here. Let's see what the side of Bad Boys decides to respond with. Looks like it's going to be that Lissandra going to J Radius in the mid lane, unless if it's going to be the Aatrox.
There's a lot of flex potential between this top side of the map for them. We're going to see if maybe they want to play with our heartstrings, but this looks like a pretty solid lineup, honestly. The Camille mid for Geradius. Oh crap, I got something in my pants. Geradius taking this Camille in the mid lane. Oh, okay. I'm just going to let them finish. I know they're going to mess with me.
Yeah, I believe 20 seconds is the final time where you can do your trade. So it does look like these will be our lanes with a Victor versus Lissandra in the top lane, actually, rather than that Urgot versus Aatrox that we predicted.
They're trolling. Okay.
Man.
I don't even know anymore, dude. But, okay, so clock going to count down these last 5 seconds. These picks are, in fact, set. We're going to get the spectator delay started up, set by our lovely sponsors, Riot Games. And I'm excited for this.
And I really like Liquid in 4th taking the cleanse here, not opting for an Ignite or an Exhaust. That cleanse will just allow him to ignore the CC that might be poured on him in team fights, because if he's CC'd, he can't save teammates. Or if he gets CC'd with someone in his belly, that's 2 for the price of 1, especially when you're against a Lissandra and Morgana. Having that cleanse yourself is going to be very nice on this Tom Kinch.
I was going to say, that's one thing I really like about Bad Boys team comp. There is the Tom Kinch for their team to, save somebody, but with how much hard CC they have, they're basically just saying, Tom Kinch, you're only going to be able to eat one person. You still have 2 other juicy carries for me to eat on. So just pick. You're basically saying choose which one you don't want to die. And that's not a scenario a team likes to be left in when it comes to team fighting.
Yeah, that likely won't be the case. But interesting in the mid lane, J Radius taking the Ignite, whereas Pickaxe opting for the Teleport, although it's likely Pickaxe will have the Unsealed Spellbook. But hey, that could give an advantage to J Radius in any all-ins he decides to go for if Pickaxe isn't able to swap to a new Summoner spell.
Yeah, we'll have to see in that regard. One come down on this last minute and a half of Champion Select. For those who missed our games earlier this week, actually, we had Vortex coming up from the depths, making the upset over Baby Shark 3-2. Really good series if you want to watch that on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/ProphecyCup. And they're going to be playing Sad Boys in the next round of the playoffs. The winner of this is going to move on to play Yeehaw 5, the team that's composed of champions from pretty much every other season of Prophecy Cup, their whole starting lineup.
Nice. Oh, Lord. But yeah, this is going to shape up to be a pretty interesting game. The Tristana pick stands out the most to me, because Tristana isn't a champion you see too much of nowadays, although I guess, especially with the Lucian and the Draven taken off the table, and the fact that you're into Sivir, kind of makes it much more of a viable pick, since Sivir doesn't exactly bully out the Tristana in lane and is kind of susceptible to the all-in. Although, fun fact, Sivir, the passive explosion radius from Tristana E, Sivir can spell shield that if she wants free mana, but if you do that, that opens you up to a pretty easy bomb.
A lot of things. I'm curious, what do you feel for these junglers? What do you feel their early game focus is going to be in terms of trying to get their lanes ahead? Where do you feel the junglers need to try and sink their fangs in and strike to get this early game difference? Because
obviously
junglers have been deciding the meta the past couple patches in terms of winning their teams game.
It obviously won't be bot lane. Both bot lanes here are relatively safe. It's kind of hard to gank a Tristana, Tom Kinch, and pretty hard to gank a Sivir Morgana. So they're going to have to be looking to their solo laners. Mid lane might be the most electrifying here in terms of gank presence, because Urgot and Aatrox will probably end up split pushing against each other, and if you get either one of them snowballing, they're absolutely insane. But here we are in the loading screen of game number 1 of Bad Boys versus the Sentinels. Interestingly, Piccolote goes for the Aftershock on Gragas weapon than the pretty atypical Predator. The Predator is very nice on Gragas, lets you fly in for ganks much quicker, not to mention the Domination Tree is just so good on junglers.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess he's seeing it as he wants to be a little bit more tanky for his team since he's looking towards the later stage of the game, because the Predator definitely does help him in the early with the ganks and starting team fights in the mid game, but I guess he's looking more long term. He wants to have a lot more of those resistances when he's initiating fights, since for the most part, Gragas is the only initiate this team really has. Tom Kench isn't going to, speeding in to try and lick somebody up, or Victor isn't going to throw down the Chaos Storm or to try and start a fight off. It's going to have to come off Gragas coming in with the body slam and throwing the barrel to put somebody into the team. But we talked about it, the Morgana spell shield. How is he going to be able to find that? Because Morgana, 2 people are already protected. Sivir has her own shield. Morgana should be able to tell, unless Gragas gets a flash from, out of the fog of war, Morgana should be able to react and put a shield onto somebody. Lissandra, I just thought about this too. Lissandra has her own ulti. So that just leaves pretty much Camille and Aatrox, which honestly, if you knock Camille into the fight, you just did half of her job for her anyway.
It could be used as more of a disengage tool, because it is also a rather insane disengage tool, just knocking away enemies, especially when your backline is that Tristana and the Victor, who both scale insanely well into the late game. So it could also be used for that, although it will definitely hamper your engage, unless you're just trying to go for a more kite-oriented team fight, which is certainly possible, because if you look at the side of the Bad Boys, the Aatrox, the Camille, the Lissandra, they all want to run right at you and get onto your backline and kill them. Whereas on the side of the Sentinels, they don't have to do that as much, since they can just play a bit more of a protect the Colonnador and protect the Weiss game.
Seems like that's going to be the likely option for these teams. But as we get onto the Rift, everybody running to the respective lanes, Crab got in the light, Ghost Ride, Morgana, everybody from both teams looking to square up. We're going to get a pause before I can even fully finish my intro. Hopefully we can get some clarification on what's the cause behind this. But that gives us more time. Listen to my boy Eno give us them big brain, in-depth analysis of this game.
Big brain. Yeah.
Sivir starting with the Doran shield for this early game. I see it as she just kind of just wants to be 100% safe in the lane. She's already pretty safe, but like you mentioned, Tristana does have a little bit of Sivir is one of the lanes Sivir doesn't bully the shit out of somebody. And when Sivir can't bully the shit out of somebody, she's just like, well, shit. Time to play like a passive little. Yeah. So she's going to take the Doran shield. So a little more interesting to me is Aatrox going for the Doran's blade into the matchup versus Urgot. I feel like Corrupting Potion would have been the better spot, knowing due to the fact that Urgot's going to start Corrupting Potion. It's kind of one of those fight fire with fire type.
Doran shield is most likely more so because T-Crank, he's going to be eating a lot of auto harass in this lane from Colonnador, not to mention a lot of lick harass from Liquid. So basically just having that extra regen from the Doran shield provides him a lot of safety, because Sivir does only have 500 auto range, and T-Crank, if he wants to really out-trade Colonnador, he has to land pretty much a full damage boomerang onto him, which can be hard, or just go up with the auto W auto. But even then, if you're just trading that many autos with Colonnador, he drops the bomb on you, and if you don't spell shield that, he automatically out-trades you. Out-trades you with the press the attack and the bomb.
I didn't even think about that. In fact, he's running the press the attack as well. It just allows him to supplement more. T-Crank has the fleet footwork, which is just kind of minuscule sustain throughout the early game. Colonnador's looking to get some blood.
Plus also Colonnador doesn't exactly need the fleet. He could kind of use the fleet in this lane, just due to the fact Morgana will do a decent amount of harass, and he will be eating some ricochets and boomerangs from T-Crank, although it is not entirely necessary, because he will have a tiny bit of sustain from that Doran's blade. We'll have to see how that shapes up, though.
Looked like it was a disconnect issue. T-Crank back in the game. Still waiting for this to go down. Just clarification for anyone that may be tuning in. Prophecy Cup gives each team 10 minutes of pause time before it starts to cause issues, and we got an admin to step in to see if we're going to give them any more or if they're going to have to play on with whatever loss or issue it is.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully they got plenty of time still, of course. Plenty of time, but just want them to be cognizant of that. I really wish we could move around the map while we're paused and we're not just forced.
Yeah. Pause and spectator definitely does kind of suck. Because especially if someone fires off a spell, the sound effects for that will keep looping.
Oh my god.
So like the most obnoxious ones are like Kog'Maw passive, Zonia's. Just hearing that over and over. It gets really annoying.
Triggers me so hard.
So yeah, we'll have to see. Because already almost 4 minutes into this pause, so it's clearly not a easy disconnect and reconnect issue.
No. I've heard T-Crank talk a couple times about the hamster he has running his wireless router, so possibly just going to go refill his water, throw some more seeds in there to keep it going, because best of 5, we're going to be in for a while tonight. At least 2 hours of good old high quality League of Legends in store. Maybe we'll go all the way, hour-long games each time, taking the casters to their absolute limits of their vocal cords.
Truth be told, I'm already a little at my limits because I've been sick recently, so
Ooh.
5 games would just utterly destroy whatever I have left.
No, man, come on. That's how what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. It's like Arnold Schwarzenegger. He had to push himself to those physical limits and then continue to lift.
Push it to the limit.
Can't you imagine yourself walking around with some extra strong, pronounced vocal cords?
Just flex on them with how rough your vocal cords are.
I don't even think your vocal cords have any sort of like muscle fiber to tear, but we'll find out tonight, boys. I've been having a sore throat, kind of. It's like on the right side of my trachea. It's weird. I don't know if we had any doctors in the chat help me figure it out. I don't know if it's just like my tonsils or I'm just getting over the flu shot or it's the clap.
I don't know. I figure it's just more of like it's that time in fall and like little bugs are flying around, so that's all I'm figuring.
C'est la vie.
C'est la vie.
C'est la vie.
I have no idea what that means. Hey, we're on pause.
Hey, there we go.
We have a 4-man stack though from the side of Bad Boys, looking to get a little bit of an invade off. Collinator will see this. Should be able to back off in time. Ooh, Flash forced out because of the hook shot. So I think the hook shot might suck a little for Kink Retreat here when he's clearing his buff. Once he hits level 2, it'll be fine and dandy, but not having the Q to really help him plow through that buff and clear it quicker may suck a little.
That's a fair trade, though. Bot lane just gives you a little bit harder release, and you now know the AD carry doesn't have flash. Although Collinator should know he shouldn't be victim to any early ganks because of his boy Tom Kent. Should just make him play a little bit more cautious throughout the early game, give T-Crank and Memo some breathing room. And we're going to have another pause come out just as everybody sees the filet mignon start to walk down their lane.
Man, right as we get back into game, another pause.
It'd be like
yeah, League of pauses, boys.
If you guys haven't already tweeted us out, make sure to tweet out at the Prophecy Cup Twitter with your hashtag BB win or hashtag SEN win. We want to see everybody popping up on our graphics on the stream. All of our thousands and thousands of adoring fans.
Yeah, and to all our viewers, if you guys have any questions to shoot at us, feel free to shoot it now during the pause. So this is a pretty optimal time to shoot us questions. Not too much to talk about in this pause screen. Look at how pausey it looks, my dude.
Yeah, this is the one thing that's always unfortunate when pauses happen really early. There's not too much to talk about. Like, only thing we have is this flash. Ooh, Morgana hitting Tom Kench. We actually have a little bit of pressure just slashing at his health bar.
And it is too late for a Liquid and Fourth here to back, so he is going to have to consume a potion here before going to lane, I believe.
No, so he's just going to be Tom Kench.
Yeah, that could be decently big though, just to help with the war of attrition in this lane.
I don't know. Tom Kench has a pretty high HP 5 compared to most. Surprisingly, you figure, with how many nerfs this man has went through and how much they like to beat down on him. The one thing they left relatively untouched is his HP 5, so he'll heal up relatively quickly and be fine.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I wonder, how much is his HP per 5? He has 7 health regen per 5, so it is going to be a long road for him. Thankfully, though, he does also have the Relic Shield, but eating up another bind like that is not what you want to do when you're this slow. I mean, you don't want to eat it up in general, but especially when you're this slow. But hey, King-Retreat is routing towards his bot lane.
Going real early, gonna get the flash onto our boy girl Tristana, and real quick, just like that. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. He got that buff, made the level 2 gank, capitalizing on that lack of flash, and first blood in the pocket of King-Retreat with the assist going over to T-Crank and Memo.
And Liquid and Fourth not being level 2 meant he didn't have the consume to gobble up his boy Collinator. Dropping there, and this is the early lead that King-Retreat wants on this Camille. He wanted to get off these early ganks, wanted to get off some early pressure.
Pressure coming here in the mid lane. Junglers starting to rear their ugly heads. Camille getting the knock up on them both, putting a decent amount of damage on the Urgot. And we see a little bit of a difference in the starts. Gragas with the red buff, Camille with the blue buff, able to put that nice little burn down on the champion, but nonetheless damage in favor of the Sad Boys.
And it is going to force Big X to chug all of those corrupting potion charges here. Another hook shot landing onto Pickaxe. They're going to force out the flash here and potentially force him to use his teleport to come back to lane. It's going to be pretty big since Urgot, he does really love being that early game. Loves just like flexing in the lane and out trading. He's super easily with the corrupting potion and his Gatling gun shield. But if J Radius is able to claw out these like small leads to just help him in this lane and, pop out on top, it'll go quite a long way.
Twitch chat, never change. My apologies. So just trading going on here in the bot lane. We're starting to see Collinator and Liquid and Force start to play a little bit more cautious now after they've been ganked, which is kind of a problem. I feel you don't have to give a little bit too much respect to the Tristana is going to have you start to fall behind, or excuse me, towards the Sivir is going to have you start to fall behind and farm, as we're seeing a wave lead already built up for Sivir, and just...
And part of that is that Tristana is just terrible at farming under tower, especially pre-pickaxe/BF sword, just due to her E passive, really messes up CSing patterns under that tower.
I remember back in, I want to say, season 4 or 5, right before Tristana got her rework, a lot of AD carries in North America, which I know isn't the pinnacle of professional advice, but still, they used to actually just not skill up Tristana's E until like level 9, and they would keep putting points in the queue because it was that annoying having to deal with that Tristana E passive.
Yeah. Thing is, though, the E also had pretty good base damage. You just point and click on its own, because back then it's just, you point and click as a small DOT with Grievous ones, I believe. So you do that, and it also functioned as an auto attack reset, so it worked well for trades and harass in lane at least. It's just, yeah, with the factor of having to see us under tower like that, it's a huge pain.
It's one of the things that came out of her rework. You know another good thing that came out of Tristana's rework? Right, girl Tristana being an actual skin.
I was about to say the death of AP Tristana.
Wait, come on. You're just a hater from the early style. I'm actually really sad Riot did that to so many of the early champions.
Yeah, I would have liked if they preserved a little bit more of the AP Tristana playstyle. It's just the previous Tristana before her initial rework.
Ooh.
That form of AP Tristana was absolutely terrible to play against because all of her damage is just
coming in, Ignite right there, and Jaradius picking up a kill on the Pickaxe, throwing out the big Warfield, and just kind of forcing Pickaxe to go between a rock and a hard place, knowing he didn't have flash to get out of it. Put the Ignite on him, wasn't afraid to take the tower shots because of the passive, and able to pick that kill up.
Good for him. And that's partially from the gank that came earlier, just that small advantage in lane. And Collinator forced to be gobbled up there after eating the bind from Memo. And Okay, Liquid and Fourth using a Summoner spell heal there thanks to the spellbook. I was really confused for a second there. I thought Collinator used heal. I was about to go, what?
Wait.
No, just a Summoner spell heal from that Unsealed spellbook.
Oh, it must be bugging for me because it still shows Liquid and Fourth as having cleanse.
Yeah, because he used the heal already.
Wait. So he used the heal and it turned into a cleanse?
No, I think he used it in the flash slot because that went on a really brief cooldown.
Okay.
Flash from right. Why
yeah.
Shui in the top lane? That's a lane we haven't been talking about since it's been relatively quiet. But Kinkertreat making his presence known in the lane there and forcing out the flash from Schnee.
You know, Victor and Lissandra are both champions that suffer from mana gating pretty bad early on. Like, they're champions that definitely have damage and can trade heavily, but their mana costs are just so rough on them early. And normally the way that's, beaten is by you take someone that can bully them early. But when they're playing against each other, it's like, hey, man, how's it going? Pretty good. It kind of reminds me of like Season 4 back when top laners would stay top for like 20, 30 minutes and then teleport down 3 items.
He isn't spotted here. J Radius has to be pretty careful, but J Radius is backing off here since he did want to back earlier anyways.
I am not piped up on Scissor, no, whoever asked in chat. Still a lot of gold. Let's see what he's going to make with this first buy. Geradius picking up the Ninja Tabby, the Kindle Gem, and a Longsword. Just going to make himself even more and more tanky and resistant for these aggressive trades on the pickaxe.
And the Tabwise are so good into Urgot just due to the majority of damage coming from that W of his. And the Gatling gun is functionally an auto attack, and I'm pretty sure the shotgun knees count as auto attacks too. So just having that 12% auto damage reduction on top of the 20 armor is very nice versus an Urgot. Ooh, Memo has to be careful here. Does have backup though.
Ooh. Nice little bind. Pull him into his belly and just walk away, no problem.
And yeah, things are pretty calm right now outside of those first few little early ganks and that early skirmish mid lane.
Victor gonna drop the storm just really to push her out of lane. Shouldn't be able to pick up a kill right there. Dragon getting picked up on the other side by Kinkertreat though.
That is pretty nice because that is an Infernal Dragon on this comp that is going to be building all damage. Everyone on the side of the bad boys can make use of it. Just Cyan has to be careful here. Thankfully, Piccolotte is not in that top lane to do a potential dive. Ooh. There is no ulti on Weiss-Schnee.
Going in right there, Joe Sidon taking the claw back, maybe taking note of Victor's low mana, but he also has low health. Victor going to start walking through, get him with that E. Fade away laser. Able to pick up that kill.
And Josiah still had flash. They're just absolute disrespect from Josiah to the damage Weiss-Schnee can output there, and it cost him his life in the end.
Magus waiting around the corner, looking like he possibly wants to pick up a gank right here. Lurking off in this little bush. Here we go, going in again. Camille putting the pain down, the Hextech ultimatum, and it's the ultimate fate for Weiss-Schnee going to the graveyard there. Staying a little bit too long after he gets the kill. Now his disrespect, his arrogance is his downfall.
And that's now 2 kills onto Kinkertreat as we see the Abyssal Void.
Trade going in right here, coming in from behind. The submarine maneuver. Gragas going in the belly of Tom Kent, getting in the bush behind. Tristana gonna walk off. They're trying to get a little bit of damage, but here comes Lissandra, and she still has that that frozen prison to put somebody in, but it looks like instead they're just going to make the play for the tower. Tristana not really in a position to be able to do anything. A couple minions left, should be able to seal the deal, but here comes Geradius from the mid lane, jumping in on the fight. Tristana deleted by the ulti, looking to pull our boy Tom Kent back in, but now Urgot's coming in. Geradius may have bit off more than he can chew. Sivir getting flipped back and around. Here we go, Lissandra. Geradius able to pick up the kill on Liquid and fourth. Urgot doing his best, getting kited around, but the crab god is going to fall and get made into a lovely crab cake. Double kill for Geradius, the mid laner making his way down. And now Bad Boys picking up that tower, find themselves up 6-1.
And in that latter half of the fight, really good play by the Bad Boys there to dance around Pickaxe. Had Pickaxe been able to get his Fear Beyond Death off there, he could have potentially turned it around a decent amount, or at least even it up for his team there, but the ability for them to just dance around to deny that one little execute plus Fear turns out huge in the end. That's first tower for the side of the Bad Boys, not to mention few kills. And that's King or Treat also soloing out the Rift Herald there.
Yeah, King or Treat is in a pretty good spot right now. Tiamat got his Skirmisher Saber, sitting on almost 1,800 gold. So as soon as he goes back, this man's probably going to complete. Let's see what he wants to complete. Shoot, because honestly, he can finish his Hydra or he can finish his jungle item. I'm going to choose the jungle item. Disconnect from Collinator. Everybody with the connection problems tonight, boys.
Rather unfortunate. But hey, he has reconnected at least. But Collinator not doing the hottest. Down 23 CS, down 2 assists with those 2 deaths. And he only has the Berserker's Greaves and 2 Longswords to really show for it now. On the other side, T-Crank already has his Stormrazor complete. That's pretty huge on Silver. And Collinator, he's going to really need to get some gold and economy going to come back to this game. Already 700-ish down.
The question is, where does he find that time for it? Because Victor, everybody's falling behind right now. And normally our boy Urgot would be the one to kind of hold the bandage. When you pick 2 late game scaling champions like Victor and Tristana who need to go off to that side lane to take up gold, you can't have 2 of your carries off on side lanes farming gold because the other team's just going to run it down mid and win the game slowly but surely.
Thankfully, though, Wishni is ahead on this Victor, just thanks to his CS advantage, that solo kill, and the fact that Klepto is getting him a pretty penny in this lane. So that is one small good thing going right now for the side of the Sentinels. Just Sion gonna eat up a pretty fat combo.
I mean, but even if you look at their gold, the Klepto hasn't been doing as much as you'd like to think it is. He has almost a 20-something CS lead, but coming down to get assists in those fights is really keeping this gold towards less than 100 difference between the top laners. And Lissandra also has her core item, one of her first core item of that Hextech Protobelt finished first. So she's perfectly fine with staying in this lane and farming against Victor and staying even.
Oh, Lord.
Bless you.
Bit of a yawn.
Hey. You can always take blessings, man.
There is the Rift Herald summon, though. This tower shouldn't be long for this world. I don't think the Bad Boys can get this before the Rift Herald charge comes out, but hey. That is another tower falling, though, for the side of Bad Boys. Let's see if they can get the double charge off of this Rift Herald. Might be a little tricky.
Shelly ramming her head, going down the lane. Lissandra gonna recall. Fight gonna be starting up here on the other side of the map, though. Camille getting gunned down on. Gonna be the target they choose, as now they're retreating across the other direction. Camille trying to hook shot away, trying to avoid getting hit by that fear beyond death from the Urgot. Red team in full retreat, of course. And now here we go, Lissandra initiating this fight on the Victor. He has no mana. All she has to do is run away. He flashes forward, gets the Q kill anyway. And he's gonna be killed off by Geradius right here with the Graviton pull. Or, excuse me, trying to use Graviton pull to stay alive. But Geradius is gonna pick up the kill nonetheless. And that's a 1-for-1 trade that, again, Josiah being just biting off a little bit more than he can chew in that scenario. Kind of awkward. I feel like he could have ultied, and honestly, he could have just 100% ran away, not made any attempt to throw any spells, and Geradius could have finished that off by himself.
Rather unfortunate, though. But hey, at least Wishni able to pick up another kill for his team, currently at 100% kill participation. Not what you want to see when you're 2-2-0, especially since he is going for this tankier build on Victor with that Iceborne rush. Which, the Iceborne, it is very nice for the CDR, the mana, and the armor. It's just, you're laning against the Lissandra here. I mean, granted, that armor will come in pretty clutch against the Camille Aatrox. It's just, for lane purposes purely, it is not going to be the most efficient.
Excuse me. True. Coming up 15 and a half minutes in the game. Dragon being started up by the side of Bad Boy. Should be able to get this fairly uncontested jungler. I don't even know if he knows what's going on. No pings coming out from the team. And Ocean Dragon going to be added to the collection for King or Treat and team.
Next dragon will be another Ocean too. So getting to this can be a little bit of a nice thing, although typically Ocean only really comes online when you have 3 of them, or it's just one laning phase / Baron buff siege. But hey, you'll take it nonetheless, because with how dominant Bad Boys are right now, they can take these lower value dragons and hope to roll another Infernal. Since it is very likely that they'll be able to get that dragon that comes up pretty easily like this too.
Vision starting to push forward slowly but surely for the side of Bad Boys, trying to get into this southern quadrant of the jungle, or this blue side lower half, as some people like to call it. Start to take over the map and give some security to Geradius as he's starting to push in and look for these fights on the bottom side. He feels like he can 1v1 pretty much anyone. Pickaxe with this exhaust might be able to impede him, but besides that, everyone else he can take on with the fisticuffs.
That's only a temporary exhaust to cleanse blown by Liquid in fourth there. Didn't have too much to cleanse, but
right here. Putting another low knockup right there. Exhaust being used right here. Backing off. Tom Kench coming in with the ulti just to have somebody in his belly. Now the whole 4-on-1 scenario right here, and this should be the call as soon as they see all four of them to make the push for the turret. And the pings are coming through, clearing off these veins, and they're going to get a lot of real estate on the health bar of this. Morgana cut people off with the binding as well. Victor walking forward, the teleport coming through. We might see ourselves have the makings of a fight happening, especially as Geradius just sit here more and more aggressive. But
yeah, Geradius 4-0-1, we saw his power there.
Barrow coming in from Gragas, knocking 3 people back into the team. Now Camille drops the Hectech ultimatum. They're going to go into a target right here, pulling back in with the Fear Beyond Death, and now Morgana is running, cowering. A second kill picked up. Sivir getting flash body slam. The Q coming over. Urgot laser coming out from everybody. Double kill for the Urgot. And now blue team with the 3-for-0 team fight is in control of the map, and they're going to look to get themselves the first tower of the game.
And this is a fight that the Sentinels really needed to get a bit more leverage in this game. Sure, they weren't too far out, but the lead was growing larger and larger, and we saw in that bot lane skirmish, Geradius just way too much for Pickaxe to handle. And with that will net him these 2 towers, it looks like. Oh, no, looks like just maybe 1. But you'll take that when you're behind a 3-for-0 and the tower on top.
No, definitely. It was interesting how that fight started off. So, really, if we go back, what happened was the 4 people went down to go get our boy Geradius, who had forced out the exhaust. That was good. He went on to Pickaxe and forced out damage. The team made the call then to go for the mid lane tower. But while they made that call, Morgana was trying to go up and try and cut flankers off with her binding and her presence, which is fine. That's generally what you want her to do. And when she threw the binding out, she started tanking tower aggro. I don't think she realized, because she took like 3 or 4 shots of it, just kind of walking back and forth. Geradius had the whole crew that had followed him down was starting to follow him back up. Morgana and Morgana, Camille, and Sivir, because of all the tower damage being taken, they decided to make the call back to start falling back. But as they were falling back, Geradius was bringing a whole entourage with him. He was still getting poked at by that whole group of people. Blue team saw the scenario Morgana's health was in, saw the health Geradius was in. He was still trying to fight somebody, flexing his guns maybe a little too much. So they made the call for it. Gragas going over the wall, throwing down the ultimate cask, and they seized the opportunity and came out 3-for-0. Now Camille trying to seize an opportunity here in the jungle. Still holding on to the binding. Morgana going to decide to not throw it out, but she's going to get caught off by Victor. Another ultimate cast, flashing over the wall, just stalling some time, going away from the rest of her team. Going to have that picked up by Collinator. Now here we go, Sivir with the movement speed. Our boy Aatrox doing his best to stay alive right here. Urgot throwing some damage onto Camille, resurrecting. Aatrox going to stay alive right there. But one person lost in the scenario where they were in the jungle for a little bit too long. Lissandra's still on the bottom side, but still losing one person. Scenario you don't feel they need to.
Yeah, and I mean, that bot tower might be a bit of silver lining, but we see the Sentinels just pushing up this mid lane in return. Keep in mind, they do have a 1.5 item Tristana. Sure, she's not online, but you can still press E on the tower and you still have that huge attack speed steroid, so you shred the towers anyways. But it looks like the call will be to just Abyssal Voyage down on bot. Save that bot tower. Bot tower is decently low, but this mid tower is still standing for the side of the Sentinels. Kind of pesky for the side of Bad Boys. They really want to take this down to open up the map. That mid outer provides so much safety for plays and venturing into your jungle.
Definitely does. That's really, I'm surprised getting this mid lane tower was gonna open up for them to start getting wards, especially with Baron and Dragon coming up. It helps you, gives you a lot more ability to roam between the lanes. When you have somebody like Geradius who wants to roam and look for all these fights, or in this case, get the fight brought to him, Victor going under the tower with that ultimate chasing them oh so far, can result in him retreating. And Victor's, despite he may be low on mana, but he can still look to put some damage on the Geradius with a couple more Qs.
Here comes Kink Archery. We'll see if he commits to this. He should surely have the damage, and has Memo too. That's slow. Gonna force his flash out of Weichny.
Forces Flash with the Soul Shackles, but doesn't land the binding. Gonna result in them having to back off of that call right there. Now Gragas gets to get a little bit of vision priority over this second Ocean Dragon.
And that will be the first dragon of the game for this side. And I'll still certainly appreciate it. It's just a single ocean, but still having that one dragon stack will be nice, especially once Elder starts coming onto the table. And denying the second ocean from the side of the Bad Boys will be a nice welcome thing. Third dragon, or fourth dragon of the game will be another Infernal. It looks like both teams gonna really have to fight for that, because if Bad Boys get a second Infernal on this comp, that is gonna make it very, very hard for the side of the Sentinels to really deal with it.
Yeah, gonna have a hard time dealing with this team fight. Eating onto somebody that got ulted right there, but now Alessandra's still going in. Urgot gonna be the main target of focus right here. Shut down by Camille. The cast coming in, but here comes Geradius from the backside to do a damage to everybody retreating. Morgana gonna use that golden icy wrist right there, and just one by one, we're seeing more members of the blue team fall. Victor goes down, down goes Urgot, down goes Frazier, Gragas falling in a 3-for-1 team fight exchange with the two other members retreating for their lives. And with all these members down, as well as the jungler, this is going to need a call from the side of Bad Boys to go for the Baron Nash.
Oof, yeah, and this Ocean Dragon is coming in a little clutch here, giving them that little bit of sustain to tank this, because jungle creeps don't stop the regen. But also the fact that they have this much insane damage lets them take the Baron this easily early on. There's nothing too much Colonnade can do to stop it, or anyone on this team really. And that's a huge pickup for the side of the Bat Boys. Because in this meta, the one team who gets the first Baron almost always wins. It's just that much of a deciding factor. Like, late game now is whichever team gets Baron first.
Yeah. Games are a lot more accelerated. Getting with that Baron buff at 23 minutes, going to help them do some substantiating amount of damage. They're perfectly fine with the fact that they lost that Ocean Drake, because now they're going to have the power to put Geradius. Geradius can just go down bot or top, whichever one, and get that inner tower, and nobody can stop him at all. Not one person can go and try and fight him. If they do, they will die. And Lissandra honestly can stay down here and set up this wave to get slow pushed out, because Sivir and Morgana by themselves are relatively safe from getting engaged on here in the mid lane, so they can just provide presence and slowly try and whittle away at the tower while the team does work in the other lane.
The thing is, the Bad Boys do have to be careful, because the longer this game goes, the more powerful Weichny and Colonnator become. We were talking about in champs, like, just how powerful they are once they start getting to that late game.
Sivir having used that ulti to run away right there. She felt Tom Kent's revving it up along with the Urgot Righteous Glory. So she's going to safely get away. And while she gets away, two inner towers are going to be gotten for her team.
That's what you want on the side of the Bad Boys here, though. Because it's just giving you more control over this map, not to mention more economy just flowing in your pockets. And now with this Baron buff pushing up in the mid lane, there's not too much the Sentinels can really do. It's a 3-lane push, no, 2-lane push, as we see Geradius comes that mid.
Binding leaking right there. They're going to have to use the ulti from Gragas to try and disengage, but that's not really a disengage. It's just a temporary thing right here, because they're still looking like they want to go for a fight. Going to throw the claw out right there, a binding going right there. Morgana, Sivir throwing a lot of damage onto Urgot, chasing with the storm right there. Chaos Storm putting damage to lots of people. Lots of low health bars, but no dead bodies. Instead, just an inner and an outer tower in the mid lane. And again, Bad Boys staying in full control of this game. 6-1 in terms of towers. About an 8k gold lead in their favor.
For sure, and that gold lead is absolutely massive right now. 8k gold lead, that's about an item to half an item completed over your counterparts at each and every role for the most part. But if we just go down the rosters, that's That's almost a fully completed death stance for J Radius in the mid lane over Pink. And if you look at T Crank, he has almost fully completed Last Whisper over Collinator. It's just these item discrepancies are really going to add up in fights. Oh, that's a blind binding, actually.
Just throwing it through the fog of war, one of those. It's when you would throw something through the back, and Kink or Treat getting the kill right there on a rampage. My game froze up, so I apologize for the weak commentary on that one.
I need that alien Pickaxe fancying a fight here, misses the
Going for something right here, just gunning down on Lissandra. Mid lane right here, they still have a little bit left on this Baron buff. Looks like not much long. Doesn't look like it's too much longer though. They're still going to use as much as they can. Look for the towers. Look for the fight. Victor getting initiated on by Aatrox. He's going to go for the kill right here. Get the resurrection while Victor gets eaten up and runs away. Now Aatrox has to find his way over the wall. Gets killed off by Collinator. Too aggressive right there. But he's still nonetheless not going to have to pay for it. Now Urgot trying to initiate a fight with all his crabby goodness. But alas, he's going to get stopped short of the grand prize. And we're going to see them have to regroup and set themselves up for another push. This time without the Baron buff, though.
And 27 minutes into this game, we got another Inferno spawning here in just a hot second. Both teams going to have their eyes on that, but this massive gold lead, you have to imagine that's going to be going over to the side of the Bad Boys bar. Some pretty big mishap, or if the side of the Sentinels get it, they're probably going to be trading some chunk of their base for it, and you don't want to be losing an inhib.
"13 seconds till we get this next Dragoon." This one is going to be a second Infernal. So we could either see these teams just match the Dragon they have, or we could see this being a second Infernal for the side of Bad Boys. Either way, going to be hotly contested. Both teams already here before he even gets to jump down into the pit and start his roar. Looks like they're going to look to open up this fight real quick and real fast. Middle of the team, Lissandra going golden. Grag's going to get taken down by the Hextech Ultimatum. Now we're going to see the Frozen Cask being put down onto Victor. Gets spit out. Lissandra coming in from behind with the hook shot. Victor goes down. She got the double kill. She looks like she can pick up a triple kill, but T-Crank's going to take that glory instead. Double kill for Sivir. And now running away, the only person left is Collinator. Not really able to do too much, but just run to his base, and they're still chasing him hard. They're going to completely forget about that dragon, going to look to get themselves some inhibitors.
And that's just his power of the Goldie right now. Memo gonna be losing his life, but...
Hello? Memo?
Does...
Turbo Winting?
Yeah, but... Did trade his life for an inhib there, technically, and it was still a 4-for-1 in the end, so huge victory overall for the side of the Bad Boys, even if that does look a little silly. Not to mention, in the second half of the fight, really good play by Memo there to flash in and get the 3-person Soul Shackles there, which allowed Josiah to go in and get a 3-man root of his own with the W on Lissandra. That just really helped root up the backline of the Sentinels and just kind of killed them off, really.
Wait, what the fuck is going on with... Is your camera acting funky for you when... All of a sudden, I have the team fight view is still stuck in the middle of my screen, so I can't see the bottom 2 champions' items.
Huh. No, it's perfectly fine for me.
Rito, why you gotta do this to me? So, we're just gonna assume Sivir has good items, because I can't see... Okay, yeah, she has good items. Good job, T-Crank.
Yeah, I'm curious if that, No Magic Mantle's going to be going into. I assume it's going to be going into a Quicksilver Sash, which, giving him that extra level of safety is nice, even though he does have the Spell Shield. Being able to then QSS afterwards, say a Victor stun, or just a Tahm Kench stun, could be very nice. Could also be a Hex Drinker, though, or if he's really worried about the burst from Weishi.
Baron gonna be standing up right here, and Geradius just doing his best to put fear in their hearts, not let anybody try and poke their way through the jungle. they've done a pretty good job taking control of the vision as well as just the damage presence. The fact that they know Drake is there makes them a little bit hesitant to walk forward. He's level 17. The highest person is Victor on 16, but then they have some level 13s and level 12s even on the side of Sentinels.
And his counterpart is level 14. It's like, to get a 3-level difference is absolutely massive. And this is a 2-man Baron being started up at 7 bad boys.
2-man Baron. They're going to choose to go for the fight right here. Silver ulti being used. They're going to go use the Hextech ultimatum, take Gragas out as their first target. Geradius still looking like he wants to charge Spirit. Here comes Lissandra from the side with the claw, but she won't take it. And they're now, with the jungler down, going to look to restart onto this Baron Nashor. But they look like they can just make for the same bait again. Go too far in, they'll go for the fight, and this time Urgot's gonna be the person they go on. Sandra throwing out the ulti, and now there's nobody to eat up Pickaxe. He goes down. Collinator jumping far, far away. Radius going on to Victor. Gonna see Tom Kent run away as best as he can, but he can run, but he can't hide anywhere except in the grave they dug for him. Boomerang! And it looks like with this last kill from the good boy, Tinker Treat, this is gonna be an ace, and then they're gonna transition themselves into a real smooth Baron.
They don't even need the Baron here. They can just look to end. It's only going to be Piccolote, ability to defend, and Weichsneet. Gonna have a lot on his hands. In fact, death will be on his hands. But that's the first tower. That's the second Nexus tower. Nexus under fire. This should be game 1 going over to the side of the bad boys in a rather convincing fashion.
32:04. I swear the timer runs for a different amount of time after the Nexus every single time because I can never guess these timers. But 32:05, our final game timer. About 15,000 gold lead right there at the end for the side of Bad Boys. Like you mentioned, very convincing win from them. And they're going to have side choice going into the second game as well. They can look to try and get themselves up 2-0 if they can get a real good pick and ban off right there. And rough game. Even from the get-go, Sentinels just not in the best position. That early flash out of Collinator, the level 2 gank. There's been Bad Boys game for pretty much the whole time.
And yeah, that should transition us into a bit of an intermission here as we get ready for game number 2. Big props to the side of Bad Boys as they keep playing like that. This will be a pretty easy 3-0 for them. We'll see how the Sentinels decide to respond come game 2.
Definitely. Twitch.tv is not my tournament code. Silly me. Looking at the damage graphs. But what? Okay, no, it's Victor. Never mind. I was about to say, Victor put out more damage, but he's Victor. He's going to poke Chaos Storm and be like that. Wow. Sivir actually putting out more damage than Geradius is the thing I find surprising, but it might just be, again, poke-oriented champion.
The Ricochet does really
Could you imagine a world where computers didn't have copy-paste?
I'd hate it.
Like all these tournament codes having to be typed out by us.
God.
It'd be a rough world, man. I don't know if I could live in a world like that. Going into game 2. Let me jump down to spectator, my rightful place I should be. Looks like they're going to choose to stay on the red side for this game. I don't know anymore. Everybody's in weird places. But yeah, Joe Side and his team look like they want to stay on the blue side. Keep that going for them. So good job. Or red side. I'm colorblind. Sorry, boys.
Oh, Lord. A little bit of a yawn coming out, but hey.
How can you be yawning when you have the most exciting Prophecy Cup going?
I don't know. Casting tires me, man.
So you got to stand up and keep the blood flowing at all times. You got to be jumping up and down like the LCS casters do. Like, oh my God, whoa, whoa!
Wow.
Wow. Oh, wow. Eagles getting destroyed by the Saints. It's all good.
Oh, yeah?
It be like that, man. Sad.
What does perfect even mean?
Yeah.
Is there even such a thing? Ooh, can we switch up all the rules and imagine a utopia? Darling, I'm just so fed up with these expectations. They keep weighing me down. My heart
Do you like to watch American football?
I used to in middle school, not so much anymore. It's just, I don't know, it lost a little bit of its edge. Not to mention the constant ad breaks. They're just like, oh god, why?
You know.
It's like, they run the ball 10 yards, and then it's like, going to our... Okay. I didn't want to watch the game anyway.
Hey, man, they got to make money somehow, in some way. Before they got this Fortnite partner to make up the real big bucks, they were struggling. NFL is just a small indie athletics organization. Oh, yeah, you got to move down.
Oh, there's finally room. Okay, good. For the longest time, there wasn't any room.
Memo moves up. Everybody in position. Good shiznit. Everybody should be able to type in their args. Valgers Gaming. This is isn't necessarily a tournament. I don't know. Would you consider Prophecy Cup's a league? Well, I don't know what you call it. Anyway, we're an organization that we center ourselves around our League of Legends about quarterly, I'd say, tournaments that we run. They run about 3 months long each. We've done 6 so far, so we've been around about a year and a half. And we put together league teams with a point system we use, so that way it's not just a bunch of challengers stomping. And it puts us at about a Plat 1 average, but teams are free to work with that point system in which way they can. We have a lot of different mixes, a lot of different rank arrangements on teams, and really it ends up just coming down to you having a good arrangement of good players, because anything's possible here in the Prophecy Cup. Oh my gosh, all my Saints friends are sending me stuff on Snapchat. I'm scared to open it up. I don't need my feelings hurt. Save me. The pirate phrase is coming out. Args all around. And now we're going to look to get into our second champion select. What changes do you think we're going to see? Adaptions is the proper word.
Oh, there's one I was about to suggest, Camille, because Twitch chat was going on a decent amount. Like, why didn't no one ban Kinker Streets, Camille? You did kind of show why in that game. Wonderful to see a Aatrox ban come out as a result of last game, but no, it's gonna be a Sivir ban.
Pretty standard adaptations to pick and ban off the first game. Gonna take away the Camille, the Sivir, the Aatrox. These are all bans targeted at what made the differences last game. But the question is now, there are other bans they made. Xin, they have first pick. They can maybe try and pick up some of those power picks like the Xin Zhao if they want to.
Yeah, or even the Urgot. That's another huge power pick. Hey, speak of the devil, it's the Urgot first pick that we all know and love.
It's the Urgot to be kidding me. Here we go.
Haha. Lord. Alrighty. Let's see what the response pickups, though, are for the side of the bad boy. Are the Sentinels here? No, bad boys. Yeah.
Chin Chow.
Shin Zhao, alright, yeah. He was taken off the table last game with good reason, but now he's left open. We'll see how Kanker Tree can unleash that, because we saw how well he snowballed on Camille. Let's see how hard he snowballs on a pretty snowball-heavy champ like Shin Zhao.
Lissandra getting locked in. They're going to have no problem taking the exact same top laner, swapping out the jungler for take away Camille, we'll just take another really dominant jungler. They have no problem with this. I don't have any problem with this. Fully what I expected.
Sandra pretty decent last game, even though there was a Tom Kench, the Sandra pick seemed to work out far. Like a little bit of shakiness in the lane. We saw Josiah with a bit of disrespect towards Washington. Let's see if he can pick that up this game. Graves can be the pickup though for Pico Lukte, and the Morgana locked in for like a force, taking that away from this side of the map.
More picks getting locked in. Morgana being taken away from Memo this time. So we'll see how Liquid and Fourth can hold on to that one.
Yeah, let's see. The Janna locked in interesting because you don't see Janna too much anymore. There was that point after a little mini rework to make her a bit fatigued that she was in a powerhouse. But just now, after all the nerfs to Enchantress support itemization, thanks to the rather long and arduous Ardent Sensor meta, and not to mention just the nerfs Janna herself received, we'll have to see.
John, I'm really curious what they're gonna pair this Janna with, because like you mentioned, this is still a tank dominated net, and really none of the tank supports were taken away. Both teams choosing to opt for the mages, which I don't know who I see Janna getting paired with, because already this Xin Zhao, unless Lissandra, is a pretty engage heavy team that wants to pick the fights. But then Janna's type is like a very disengage oriented champion, which I guess.
I mean,
like, yes, she can throw the shield on the Xin Zhao, give him that extra damage and that protection as he goes in, but her Q, her W, and her R, and her passive are all based around Janna running away or helping stop a fight, or slowing somebody down to stop.
or you could aim for a bit more of a bouncy house thing, have the Shin Zhao knock a major team with your ultimate, and then knock them back out to Janna Monsoon. I'm just spitballing here, but, you know, could make for a funny clip, you know.
All of our Prophecy Cup clip bots get ready.
Interesting, because Caitlyn is considered to be on the weak side now, even though the Storm Razor is so good on her. It's just she's kind of being kept a little down just due to how prevalent she is in pro play. Just kind of understandable, but unfortunate if you're a Caitlyn player like myself. But hey, there's the 6-slot I'm probably going to pick Axe for Cullen later, though. We'll have to see.
Later. Annie, don't do it. Ooh, Anivia getting picked up for pickaxe right here. This is a really magic heavy damage oriented team.
Yeah, and their saving grace is that Pico Lukte did pick the Graves, so that'll give them a little bit of marksman oriented damage to dimensional Snake and bring us up his damage on his own on the Urgot, but hey, a lot of wave clear just between that Ziggs and Anivia. And the side of Sentinels, they're gonna want to push their early wave clear advantage, but there's the Xerath lock, and Xerath just will outrange both of them and has decent wave clear in his own, so this might actually be a pretty juicy counter pick.
Juicy counter pick. This is not an endorsement to Yeehaw 5, but Charlie Smells getting, I keep calling him Charlie Smells, Geradius getting to play this Xerath. to be very interesting. You can go all the way back to our pre-season 1, back when we were Bronze 5 leagues. You can find clips of Charlie Smells pooping on kids with the Xerath.
Yeah, that was season 5 in that brief time where Xerath was meta. But hey, he's always meta in A-Ramp, sadly. I'm a little salty about it. But hey, we are going to be finishing up the picks here and getting right into that spectator delay. For the side of Sentinels, with this Ziggs Morgana bot lane, they are going to have to really push hard early, and they can try and outpike that Caitlyn, because Caitlyn, while she does have the range, it's like, she has the range versus other ADCs. Ziggs doesn't really want to go in for those auto trees, he just wants to push out the wave, harass you with a bouncing bomb, potentially, and there's not as much the Caitlyn can do versus that. Granted, you do have the Pelt over Peacemaker, and if you get that low bend, you can kind of compete on a wave clear. It will be a little tricky though for T-Grant.
You know, this is a full-on siege comp from their side. They're going to be looking to poke and prod, keep them under towers as best as they can with the mid laner and the bot lane carry. They can't. While Graves is strong, Graves cannot 1v5 in these team fights like he'd need to, considering Anivia and Ziggs. That's not what they want to do. They don't want a team fight. They want to look for picks with that wall and the satchel charge.
Not to mention, it's just like, you can't really just fly in on those Graves, because your only go-in buddy is going to be Whitney, which is like okay, but if you're flying into the enemy team as Piccolote here, you're just going to eat up so much damage. You don't want to fly into that Frozen Tomb from Josiah, and you don't want to fly into a trap from Deep Crank, you don't want to fly into a stun from J Radius, you don't want to fly into the face of King Tree here. So Piccolote is going to have some trouble navigating the leader full-on 5v5 or 4v4 fights. Granted, in the 1v1 or 2v2, it should be.
And then the thing is, even if he somehow finds his way past all the things you just mentioned, the Lissandra, the Xin Xiao, the Caitlyn, they still got a Janna. It's like, if Piccolo can do like the most bob and weavy, like threads the needle, E-dash forward, he's still going to get pushed out by Janna, and they're just going to walk away and choose to not fight this, and then he's going to get hit by all the other crowd control, and he's going to die. It's definitely a tough decision for him. Not really sure what he can do or his team, but I know what everybody that's listening to this stream that they can do. They can go to intotheam.com and take advantage of the 24-hour blowout sale. You want to get yourself some nice joggers, some nice hoodies, over 30 styles, everything starting off at $25. Get yourself looking nice and swagalicious. They got space galaxy prints, so many different kinds. They got some real nice face mask bandanas. They got all over t-shirts, zip up hoodies, pullover hoodies. You can make the choice. Whatever you end up deciding to do, you can put in that code in the bottom of the bottom, that code PCUP, and get 10% off and make your purchase all the more worth it. As we're going to get into the spectator delay finito, we're going to finally get into our loading screen and see what keystones people take. Although there's not really too much question about what keystones all these champions take. But this is Prophecy Cup, and people like to do what the fuck they want.
We'll have to see as we do hop into this. And yeah, not too much in terms of size, although Pollinator with the Odyssey Ziggs border, that was a pretty limited thing. Shows how much of a fan he's for Ziggs. Hey.
Garbage. He's not a true Ziggs fan. I don't see a Mastery 4 or 5.
I don't think it shows Mastery, which kind of sucks.
Oh, feels bad.
Yeah, but hey.
Was it kind of like with the project skins where you had to like buy it in the first week?
Yeah, or no, I think it was a thing.
Missed a lot in 6 months. I come back, all these reworked champions, Nunu and Willump. That blew my mind. And then I love this Summoner Fountain. KDA doing their song.
Although there was that one Sona make playing on Reddit, you can't using base. Although there were like people in the comments going like, That doesn't matter because you just want to charge up one Q in base anyways, and then use one Q on top. It's like, wow. The Sona metagame is so strong for a champ where you just smack the keyboard.
That's what you filthy normies think. But when you're somebody like me, dedicated with DJ Sona, biggest waste of money.
J-Radius.
Uh-oh, J-Radius getting caught out. Gonna have to flash.
He technically didn't have to flash there because that bind wouldn't land, but still, good on him to play safe with that flash because that is a heat of the moment thing, and that bind was really close to him. But hey, not having that flash as the Xerath is weird, especially versus an Anivia who can like, just fall on you hard and long. So Anivia has absurd base damages. I know there are some pretty vocal anti-Anivia people out there.
Wait, come on. Why you gotta come for the girl? One thing I feel I've learned that I've seen happen, one of the most heartbreaking things. Have you ever like tried to flash away from a level 1 Morgana binding and you weren't gonna get hit by it, but then you accidentally flash into its path and get hit by it at the end? So saddening.
Yeah. But hey, here's the leash coming out from both bot lanes. Interesting that Pollinator and Liquid Force want to go for the leash here. Because especially as Ziggs, you need an advantage as Ziggs at the lane. You're picking Ziggs because you want to. And if you're not able to get the tower, it really hampers your power as Ziggs because then you don't really do nearly as, especially once we start hitting like 3 items. T-Crank is gonna out DPS Pollinator so hard in team fights.
Caitlyn posturing with that headshot, looking to try and take advantage. They're going to get the level 2, but, you know, Caitlyn Janet isn't exactly the most ravishing level 2 in League of Legends. So it's not going to mean too much, but of course, it just shows that it's proof that they are, in fact, ahead early on, which, as you just finished talking about, is never a good thing for Ziggs. He's going to get this lane pushed in against him, which kind of surprising considering, you know, Ziggs has all this AoE to help push a wave back, but he's letting Caitlyn just hard push this wave. T-Crank knowing he can't let Ziggs get under his skin.
And this is good because Caitlyn is another champion who really wants to push into just neuter you in lane. Because Caitlyn is the lane bully of bot lane. Using that 650 range to her advantage, just bully you out and get free tower hits. I thought Conair would do better against this. Ziggs. Well, with that Piltover piece, we're just rushing right by Liquid forward there. But yeah, wave clear advantage going over to T-Crank right
now. My wife's son says I'm not allowed. What is wrong with you people? I love Twitch chat, never change. Junglers Xin Zhao, decent amount ahead of the boy Graves, beating him onto his, what is that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th camp, while Graves is just finishing his 4th one. Having to see an early recall from Urgot. He's going to go back, recall, and now Lissandra's going to have the lane advantage. She pings missing, but she's going to see him reappear and realize that teleport is down.
And the teleport came down. Might be a bit of trouble for Wei Shni if he gets ganked here and dies. We'll have to see. Uses. Oh Lord.
Gank coming in right here. Xin Zhao, immediate flash right there. As soon as Urgot sees him, he just backs that ass up. He's going to take his forward as well.
Yeah, and right as we're talking about a gank, hey, look what comes by. It's a little Xin Zhao, piloted by Kinkertree, coming in for a gank.
Yeah, he saw Lissandra claw forward, and he was like, wait a minute, this doesn't go with how she plays. And then he's like, I don't like this. He starts walking away, and then he sees Xin Zhao, so he just solidifies his safety with a flash. I don't know about this one, Chief. Let me get on out of here. Anivia gonna get knocked into her egg. No, Xerath can't do anything once she's egg, so she's just gonna chill and wait. Honestly, this is one of the better ways to utilize egg right here, just to have a second health bar in lane essentially. Because waiting in the early levels, if you try and use it as like a gank insurance, you have minus 40 armor and MR, so it just becomes a hindrance if anything. If you don't die like that far back under your tower.
But this bot lane is still rather interesting. I don't know if Colonnade is just not wanting to go for tower or just wanting on an item to help supplement its wave play here. That's Liquid and Fourth just stepping on the trap. I'm not sure if that was just a misclick or just not paying attention. That's even intentional.
Maybe he meant to put his E on himself.
Essentially.
A lot of possibilities. We can't get into the minds of such high elo players, unfortunately. Can't even begin to think of the strategies that they've coursed through their synapses. Imagine not being a turbo version and going for over. What do you people like? I don't even know. I'm not gonna try and figure. I try to figure you guys out all the time, but it don't make no sense.
Does Catalyst actually contribute to overheal shield? I mean, it's technically healing you, but it's like 40% of that value, so it's like
Uh-oh,
getting
support
like
getting
maybe
little.
a shield
Ooh.
for 1 to 4 health.
Hey, dude, come on. That 1 health makes a difference. To answer your question,
That's why
Blake,
I can
Kink or
that's
Treat popped off.
That's why I can never get behind over. It's just like, you'd want that shield in lane, but they have to keep that shield in lane terrible, because if it was good in lane, that just really neutered mission.
We have a bunch of like 40-minute mages taking up the mid lane. And 40-minute mages, that means Zoe makes a comeback. And nobody wants to see Zoe make a comeback.
Yeah. God, even in her nerf form, she's obnoxious. If she gets wrong, this is like, hey, can I compete with you? Oh, let me block for you, buddy. Oh, hey, there goes my entire bar. Even though I didn't eat the sleepy travel bubble. And the fairy charm actually picked up for T-Crank here. This is something you see on Lucian to help him deal with mana issues. But I can kind of see why T-Crank does this, because if you're having to constantly spam the Piltover Peacemaker to deal with clear, it will give you that little bit of extra mana just to help us. There's a...
Huh. Some interesting tech builds right here for the lane, so that way we can match Ziggs in the wave clear and really just keep Ziggs from being able to get in this tower and do what he wants. Ziggs has the lost chapter, so now he's a lot more confident pushing the wave, so this is around the time it was smart for T-Crank to buy this matching build item. Otherwise, this would have us all spamming thank you emojis in chat. Like, good breakdown from our boy Eno. And Nivea has the tier. She is down a lot versus Geradius.
Yeah, it should be better now that he has the ult. It just went clear. And the thing is, Nivea base damages are insane. Like, you don't even need items. There's a Nivea tier in Catalyst and still 1v1 you with it. It's like, what? You don't have any damage yet, you somehow kill me.
You know, Anivia, that's one thing that they give to her. That's why she has to suffer so much in that egg form and be so mana-gated. But once she gets these couple mana items to help her push through that, this champion becomes a problem. There's a reason this was Froggen's champion of choice to become the terror of the world in even seasons. Except, what is Froggen doing? He didn't do anything this even season.
I don't know. He might have... I don't... Does he still play professionally? Because, I mean, I know some of the older pros have just flat are like, nah. Like, Alex Each, he's now just a programmer in California. This one guy on Reddit was saying, like, oh yeah, he's my coworker.
Yeah, he ended up getting his citizenship, so he was like, thanks, guys. Graves getting going on to right here. The ulti and the save from Anivia the wall. He's going to flash over the kill, first blood. And now Entombed, Anivia trying to run away, going to get hit off with another ulti from Xerath. And they're able to pick up first blood on a Graves right there. Xin Zhao showing the power of that early damage and dual potential he has, just going on the Graves and picking up a kill. Now Ziggs putting some damage. Might want to drop the ulti right there. Let's see.
And it looks like the last chapter here is going to be the go button for Colonnade. We see him now just aggressively shoving into the tower and out wave playing T-Crank. Getting a lot of harassed. But he is going to be backing here.
Flipping him in right there. Going to force the flash out of Geradius and keep him on his toes a little.
Yep. But hey, first by going to Geradius, lane is pretty big because he already had a huge advantage, 30 CS up currently. Not to mention now he has a kill that should be nearly 1,000 gold. Yeah, gonna be an 800 gold. Stun lands.
Whew. That's a lot of damage, boy. Little fadeaway E. Really needs to not get hit by these Xerath W's, though.
Yeah, because Xerath is just able to outrange you, and if you just let him play his poke game, he'll win. Anyone who plays ARAM can definitely attest to that. Because if you play ARAM, you know how not that game. Dear God.
It's worse on ARAM, though, because there's 5 of you guys. So there's even less room for you to move around.
Not to mention, it's like
Uh-oh.
Siege starts early. Alright, Memo just running into front lane a little. Gonna lose a quarter of his health for that.
Always worth to lose a quarter of your health, of course.
Oh, for sure. Got some vision pings coming out. So, King Archery wants to gank here, but hasn't been successful this game. Since Xin Zhao doesn't have the level 3 hook shot, just get that stun into a Mark Vine.
And Zhao wrapping around bottom lane, gonna run into Graves again, going on to the Scuttle Crab. And he's gonna say, "How many times do I have to teach you this lesson, old man?" As he goes on to Graves. Body block right there, but the Xerath ulti looks like it's gonna follow. Ziggs caught in the middle of the fray. One more shot from T-Crank will do it, and that'll solidify himself 1 kill, and now Morgana's gonna fall right behind. Kink or Treat has slain Liquid in 4th. 2 kills on the bottom side of the map, but Xin Zhao might be able to find a 3rd one, and he's finally gonna teach Graves his lesson. Going under this tower.
Yep, uses the dash to secure that kill. Although, we'll have to see. The stun does land, and that's a lot of damage to take out.
Uh-oh, Anivia flashing over the wall. I don't know if she has passive yet to help her with this. She's just gonna dance back and forth, get knocked into egg. Honestly, they should let Dragon get this kill. Feels bad. Geradius gets it instead.
But that is going to be the Mountain Dragon falling over to bad place here. And we already see another 5-0 lead, another 2.2k gold. This is pretty similar last game, and we saw how that ended up for the side of the Sentinels.
Yeah, not too great. What would you guys do if Ninja started hosting us?
I would dumb down my language for this. Yeah.
We just got 50,000 people thrown onto Prophecy Cup viewing all of a sudden.
Like, hey guys, I know I'm a Fortnite streamer, but I bet you guys will love League of Legends.
Exactly.
Right?
Dropping the ulti right there, just beating away onto Janna's health bar, but she has the shield, so she'll survive.
Barely, though.
I want to be a big streamer just so I can do that. I want to be able to just randomly give some completely different game, completely different person has like 3 views, like 10,000 viewers all of a sudden. All games done quick does that every time they finish.
Just like some random guy like hosting a pirate stream while the face cam gets hosted. Then all of a sudden he has like 15,000 extra viewers. Oh, actually 50 caliber netting into that point.
Nice.
Come out of it.
Zig's starting to feel a little more swagger in his step now with this more and more AP to beat down onto Caitlyn. And T-Crank does not like it.
Thing is, T-Crank already has a Storm, which is like one of the perfect items for Caitlyn in lane if you think about it, because she loves just walking up to you with that headshot to getting that 1 free auto. And Stormrazor supplements that because you get the free little mini crit on top of that.
So mini crit plus an actual crit. I'm ready. That would be actually insane if you had crit chance. You got that's a. I know there's like Jhin basically does that all the time with this champion, but Jhin doesn't got range like Caitlyn does. Team Craig just ulting to establish dominance. Pretty standard with Caitlyn. Just I don't know when to ult. I'll just do it now. Put the damage out.
Yep. Like honestly, being a longtime Caitlyn player myself, ult does feel like useless a lot of the time. Because it doesn't do a lot of damage unless you're ahead. And there's actually been times where it's like my jungler ganks, so I just ult a Sivir so she spell shields it, so she can't spell shield the jungler. It's some pretty memey metagame stuff.
Urgot walking his way down. Graves trying to do something in the jungle, but Xin Zhao looking like he wants to go for him again, but instead just going to be seen on the ward, clear it out, and make Urgot play a little more cautious. We haven't really talked about this top lane too much. This has been a probably the most even lane in this game that we've seen.
Yeah, it's just like, nothing's happened up there. Don't think there's been much of any ganks at all. And this is the tower damage we're wanting though. Or that, yep, that is going to be the first tower falling. It did take him 15 minutes though, which is a little longer than expected. Pickaxe in a bit of trouble.
Oh, jeez Louise, what just happened right there?
Jeez Louisa, Papa Cheese.
Yeah, he just got popped his health bar. That's what Drake's talking about, that 0 to 100 real quick.
Yeah. Now 0-2 in the Sentinels.
Gonna look to start out.
40 CS down as well. Ooh,
Shelly
T cranking a lot of trouble.
Gonna get killed off right there, Morgana. I was looking at the Shelly fight, but yeah, kind of caught out of position while his support went to go ward. Janna thought about turning around, but she was like, "Nah, you dead," and just let him die.
Yeah.
So T crank going down.
Got Rift's Herald there. Okay, it was the side of the bad boys. King of trick picking. But that kill going to Collinator there and that little bot lane skirmish is very nice because Ziggs, he has to leverage his early and mid-game power here. And if you aren't leveraging that, you are kind of like slightly losing the pick.
Mommy clapping to his beat. Ziggs getting poked out. One more W right there. Zera's going to drop the ulti and look to get a kill on the Ziggs. But due to the way auto camera's going, I already know he doesn't land any.
Yep.
Hey, Lamau. I wish we had that LCS camera where we could zoom out.
So interesting, Memo still hasn't finished his support quest as Janna. Still 155 gold off, which is kind of detrimental. Usually you want that quest completed point in the game. And not having the sight vision from them.
Looking like he wants to go in, Anivia's going to be the target right here, get knocked in the egg. Urgot looking like he wants to try and defend that Anivia. She's so close to reviving, but alas, Joe Sidon will get the killing blow on a pickaxe. 7-1 in favor of Bad Boys as they're pushing through this mid lane. Looking to keep their presence going with the Anivia down and the recalls coming out. But another fight might be a brew. Jaina gonna pop the ult to keep herself alive, flash away, hit the blasting plant over the wall. Caitlyn gonna now get a lot of damage on the Ziggs. Over the wall, Dradius on a killing spree.
Oof.
That's 2 members down, gonna keep it going, and here he is still poking away. Draws aggro for a second, enough to keep the minion alive, and allows them to finish off that mid-inner turret to give themselves a 2-1 turret advantage.
Oh lord, yeah, things are going more and more in the favor of the side of Bad Boys here. There's the Cloud Dragon picked up as well, a little bit of extra move speed, but you get around the map quicker and dodge the skill shots. There are a lot of skill shots to dodge on the side of the Sentinels, so hey, maybe that little bit of extra move speed will come in rather clutch.
Janet killing off those wards, still not complete her support quest item. I feel like that's due to the result that Janet just didn't really poke that much in lane. Caitlyn did all the poking, because if Janet tried to walk up, she would have got the shit bullied out of her.
Yeah. Pretty apt observation. Heavy poke lane like Ziggs and Morgana. Pokes a lot.
Shoot, it could have been Ziggs in a freaking rock from my 3rd grade playground. He still would have been able to poke the hell out of that Janet anytime she tried to walk up to poke him. So she's falling behind on that, but she'll close up that gap just like NA closed the gap between other regions.
Except for
And
China and Fnatic.
hey, come on.
Hey, at least
We'll
we
get
beat
there.
Korea.
Uh-oh.
Then again, everybody
A
beat.
lot of damage right there.
That's a lot of damage.
A lot.
Oh,
Interesting observation.
important.
Xin Zhao going on to Morganon's Ghost Bride trying to get away. He doesn't drop the ulti quick enough to avoid that. She's going to get away aptly. Here we go, killing off onto this ward. Now they're going to look to themselves the top outer turret. Stun onto Xerath. Some damage, or stun from Xerath on Urgot. Now he's getting initiated on by our boy Xin Zhao. Teamfight looking to bust out right here. Janna caught in the middle of two people she doesn't want to be in the middle of. Still going to keep going. Ground up into Little Beef. Xin Zhao, and now Xerath putting damage in Graves' face because he dares try to challenge him over the wall. Nice poke from Xerath on the way out, but a little bit of a skirmish. Keeps one person down on each team, but more importantly, keeps the tower alive on the top side for both.
And that does go in the favor of the Sentinels there. They get the
Unless they get the flip right here on a Caitlyn, it's going to go even more in their favor. Getting blasted around, double kill. Easily picked up for Wee Schnee. As he now finds himself flexing a little bit of his muscles. And he looks like he wants to get a tower with this Ziggs.
Yeah, Wishni can be eating up tower aggro like it's breakfast there, but it doesn't matter since he... That's the tower going down in favor of the Sentinels, though, on is originally. Bad Boy's going for attack. Although, Josiah will be evening up the tower count, grabbing up that tower for himself.
A harvest. The Suns are still just chilling this game. Not necessarily doing bad. Just kind of here. Farming off on different lanes. Just waiting for a time. It's all good. It'll come eventually. Ziggs getting initiated on. Bobbing and weaving. Blue suede shoes. Able to get out of the way of pretty much everything right there.
Putting on his Air Jordans there to dip and dive out of that one.
Yeah. When I lace up to dodge out of the way of Xerath, I always make sure I'm wearing Nike Air Jordan LeBron Taxi 7s.
Feet DJ Khaled.
DJ Khaled. Feet DJ Khaled. I'm pretty sure Brother Nature is going to end up getting a shoe line. You know who Brother Nature is?
No.
He's a guy on Twitter who essentially... I don't know what the fuck it is. He has like a gift handed to him from like Tarzan. That like he has like flocks of animals that like he'll walk up to and like they won't run away from him. Like he has a whole family of deer in his neighborhood that like they'll come to his yard, he'll feed them out of his hand, they'll let him pet him and all that shit. And that's just started off as deer. And then he started doing it with like squirrels. He went to the Caribbean and did it with like dolphins and sharks. He's in Africa right now doing it with lions and rhinos. Like
if you can do it with lions, that definitely commandeers respect, because it's like, squirrels are one thing. Squirrels won't kill you if they get pissed off. Lions, on the other hand, are different. You can be their brunch.
You know, he went up to a baby lion and was playing with it. Just like, hey guys. And he was talking, the lion was like licking at his hand like it actually knew him. It was the weirdest shit. Like, brother, I'm not trying to be a shill, but like, if you search him on Twitter and watch those videos, you're going to be like, what the fuck does this man have?
Eh?
Coming up on 23.5 minutes. Caitlyn taking charge of this mid lane, finishing up her second item. Geradius decided to get himself a second book. Harry Potter series going to be assembled in his inventory by the end of this. Magi is Soul Eater, or is it Soul Stealer? I can't ever remember.
Soul Stealer.
Nonetheless, going to get the snowball item.
Because he didn't nibble on their souls.
Mm.
But
The
hey,
nibbler
yeah.
on the roof.
This 2 item? Oh, Canker Tree.
Uh-oh, going on to Graves again. Gonna be the target of a lot of bullying. Ulti coming through, slam dunking onto him, but he's gonna pay the price. Blue team 1-for-1, junglers both down. It's an interesting area right around this Baron. The question is, do they want to continue the fights? It looks like they're just gonna let their junglers pay the sins of both teams and continue on with their missions.
Sins indeed. Keep in mind the next dragon coming up is an Infernal, and with how actually no, this lead isn't too huge. This game is really even, although J Radius has a massive lead over Pickaxe right now. Weishni
Cutting him
going
down,
in.
cutting him off. Gonna decide he wants to flip him in. Has a lot of shielding. Xerath are definitely their target. Missing the Fear Beyond Death, and he's gonna die right under this tower. Every Urgot Spear being made to look like a fool, and then T-Crank getting slam dunked on right there with that Ziggs bomb, as well as the Pickaxe's E right there.
Yeah, one
Yikes.
for one in the end, but this still on the table, and that's now 18 stacks on this major or J Radius. It's coming.
For him getting to stay alive, there was.
He's at 334 with just 3 items, one of which is a rather cheap mage. But that's Infernal being started off on the side of the Sentinels.
Infernal, they're going to take advantage of this, get the wall, and try and cut the team off, and they'll pick that up no problem.
And considering everyone on the side is building damage this game, even the support, that will go longer for them than for most team comps, because, you know, tanks that won't build damage, and usually, like, there's tank supports who don't build a lot of damage. So, hey, everyone's getting a little bit of value out of this Infernal.
Here he goes. People starting to put some vision around this Baron pit. The young Scuttle gonna get picked up.
Young Scuttle, indeed.
Young Scuttle getting picked up by Duradius. There's gonna put a lot of ulti pressure onto the Ziggs right here. Try and force him out. Force his flash out and his heal with all that. That's gonna be definitely worthy trades. Ultis for Ziggs summoners.
Man, it's a lot of damage, though, and honestly, the fear that the Xerath piloted by J Radius is currently exhibiting is that might just prove to be too much for the side of the Sentinels here.
Oh no, not the Death Bush. Anything but Death Bush. Morgana sniffed it out. Good dog. And Zhao gonna choose his target right here. It's gonna be Urgot, and this is how we're gonna see a fight start off for this Baron. Xin Zhao getting really quickly stunned off. Xerath having the flash over, but his team's making work. Both top laners have already fallen in this fight. We're gonna call in the middle with the Soul Shackle. It's gonna go down to T-Crank. Xin Zhao now falling, and now it's a 3-on-3 as everybody fights their best. Guy Graves flashing in, but getting taken down by the Janna. Wall off, forcing this fight to continue. But they may not have wanted to force this fight right here. Everybody continuing forward. Janna just putting the slow and trying to keep people from running. One R, a second one, finish them off godlike. And now Janna getting the flash tornado to knock up Anivia. Gonna get finished off with a couple easy autos. Asuwu in favor of the red team. They're gonna push down and get themselves an inhibitor.
And honestly, I feel like the biggest play of that fight, and if not, it's one of the biggest plays of that fight, was Memo just with the Clux Mikhails onto J Radius, keeping his now 7-0 mid laner alive, letting him keep those major stacks. And keep in mind, even if Xerath is at 100 health, just due to how insane his range is, he can still contribute to a fight because almost no one outranges a Xerath.
No, not at all. And he's at 25 pages in his book right here.
Yeah, he's got the full book basically.
That's a lot right there. Ow, 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 ow.
Ow.
So that's going to be 145 AP. Once he gets this hat finished, that's going to be actually a disgusting number. I don't even want to think about what it'll be. We'll just have to wait and see if we can get that far. Baron's still up on the map. 5k gold lead in favor of the bad boys. So definitely favoring them, but not completely out of reach. Caitlyn putting more pressure. They're going to go for the strategy again. Xerath being able to miss out right here. Ziggs, oh my goodness. Another Nike sponsorship right there. Showing how you can use your ankles, juke out of the way, and not have them snap and cause you to get hit. But he is going to have to recall, and his team's going to give a lot of Baron pressure.
A lot of Baron pressure, indeed. And keep in mind with this Earth Dragon and this Caitlyn, who now has 3 items, Baron will melt if the bad boys decide to hop on it. That's not even factoring in Kanker Treat just hopping on it and swinging around his Triforce and his Warrior enchantment.
Mm-hmm. Just chilling like a villain. Lysandra chilling literally down in the like a villain in the bottom lane, putting up some vision for herself on the backside. Looks like she wanted to push in the lane, but she's going to choose to roam up with her team. We haven't mentioned her that much this game, but she's honestly, Xerath and T-Crank are doing so much that she just kind of has to be there to look at somebody and press R.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not a bad performance by him at all. This isn't his game to show off. He's just going to run away. Shouldn't die here. Maybe the exhaust is going to be an attempt. But
I mean, that's a lot of slows coming up from Wish. We'll see if that's enough. Bind actually lands onto Memo. We're seeing kills from him.
Mikhail's being used by Memo.
Oh my!
Anivia going to go blast off right there. She got absolutely hammered.
That was an insane amount of damage to put it like that.
You know, that's not natural from that range. Especially with the Rabadon's got finished, so that explains some things.
Rabadon's 25 mage eyes.
724 AP. They're pausing to give time to calculate all the numbers for the damage he has, because that is actually insane. 724 damage, like what the fuck?
Yeah.
Excuse my language, but what the actual flipping heck?
Yeah. Let this pause. I am going to be back in a second. I have to quickly do something, but I'll be back shortly.
Okay. Hey guys, let's talk about it. Karaoke's trying his hardest. Karaoke, I'm guessing that's Pickaxe, what his former name was, but you're not exactly having the best Anivia game. We talked about him having a lot of the early damage, but early damage doesn't really matter when Xerath can tell you anything you can do, I can do better, and just does more damage than her at all points throughout this game. Being able to outpoke her and outrange her in lane, Anivia wasn't really able to keep up with him. And like we saw the moment when I brought it up, she got her egg forced out. Xerath continued to relentlessly pursue her in health. She got the early backs, early deaths. Xerath still unkillable this game. Just an insurmountable lead for her at this point. And then the jungle, Xin Zhao getting that real early first blood on the Graves and then going back and killing him again in a second little skirmish that he opened up. Ziggs not being as dominant in the lane as he needs to be due to T-Crank keeping the constant push and making it so Ziggs couldn't get a tower. Just good play from all the lanes and all the positions of the side of Bad Boys. So really a team effort right here. There definitely standouts such as Geradius, but there's not really anybody you can say is making the carry, so to speak. Everybody's playing their role in this team. And this is somebody that I definitely want to see go into the next round playing Yeehaw 5.
For sure. Everyone is definitely pulling their weight, especially Geradius. Although, just signing not been too active in fights, just been more content to sit in side lanes and split, unlike participating for 17 kills. That's not to say he's doing bad, it's just he hasn't been around, so to speak. Which,
just like my dad.
When you're on Lysandra, you do want to be around, so to speak, because when you are around, so to speak, you can use your ultimate. Which is pretty good in team fights, actually. But it does seem to be working out for his team right now, which, hey, if it works, why change it?
You don't want to tank. Wait, come on, Lysandra's a mage. You can't force her into that identity. I will believe in this champion being a mage till the day I die. I want to say she was the first person where I bought their release bundle of champion and skin with RP.
Oh,
it was her or Urgot, whichever one came out first.
That was me with Quinn, and then Quinn was just terrible on release. I'm like, I'm never doing this again.
Yeah.
I've never done it since.
Riot got me really good with that. Really got me really good with that lore story they built up. They need to revisit the Freljord and put some more stuff into it. Give us another Freljord.
Riot boomed me. But hey, they do have dragons spawning up here in a GIF, and it is another Infernal. Both teams
you mean
have to fight for that. Because now imagine if there's an Infernal on top of this Rabadon's 25 stacks mage, 7, 0, and 8 Xerath that J-Radius has. That could be disgusting. It will be disgusting. Because now he has 898 AP. For reference, before resistances, each one of his ulti shots are going to be doing almost 700, or no, well over 650 damage.
Balance, just like Thanos wanted. 15,000 gold. He has a 2,000 gold lead over his own mid lane, or his own AD. I was about to say over his own mid laner. 14,000 gold on the side of Xerath. Huge lead over his own AD carry. And then his own AD carry. The gold disparities on this team are not in the best scenario. Urgot sitting down in that bush. They're going to poke him off the tower with the Xerath ulti. And this Baron buff, yet just choke them out a lot of damage. Ruthless. Anivia ulti can't help clear this off. The Ziggs ulti, Ziggs and Anivia together might be able to get a little bit of something. They get a decent amount of damage on this tower, and another wave right behind it, with the Morgana having a recall.
Yeah, and keep in mind, this is one of the reasons why we don't see super heavy wave clear or AP mages like the Anivia or Ziggs anymore. It's just if you get Baron versus them, it shuts down their strength so hard. That's why typically you'll see more so wages that happen to have wave clear, but are like slightly more bursting utilitated.
And what's crazy, is they just did that 4v5. Alessandra was on the top the whole side. I didn't even realize getting herself the getting a top inner. Now she's got the top inhib tower, and they're just gonna keep this pressure up.
Yeah, there's just nothing the Sentinels can really do because Ziggs and Anivia wave clear. It doesn't matter at all when you have a because it's like what 70% damage reduction.
Woo-hoo!
There's pickaxe just dying.
Caitlyn gonna walk up, try and get the autos. Jaradius finishing him off, legendary. Turning this around. Jay Beezus picking up a kill onto Piccolo. Xin Zhao getting the mid inhib, gonna get this top inhib. Yeah, Sentinels, not much they can really do anymore at this point. Just watch their base fall all around them as they crumple in, trying to get these finishing kills. Xin Zhao's gonna flash in onto our boy Zig. Get flipped back to reality, but it's really the reality being brought down for Urgot. He brings out the icy wrist. One tower falls, second one falls. Urgot falls. Morgana's gonna fall on the fountain. And most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, the Nexus is gonna fall. Kinker Tree going hard on the paint, able to finish this off. 34.5 minutes. Another convincing win from the side of Bad Boys, now up 2-0.
Yeah. Honestly, just another dominating game. It's got to be wearing on the side of the Sentinels right now. They're going to need a huge mental reset going into Game 3 because it doesn't seem like they've been able to get anything so far. Granted, they did do better early game, this game, rather compared to last game. So I will give them that. They are making improvements, but I do feel like they need to make improvements quicker here because this is now match point in this best of 5. They will need to do a reverse sweep. And if there is a game to really bring out your A game, it is going to be
2-0. Looking at the damage graphs, Jesus Christ, that is a lot. Janna did more damage, or not Janna. Xin Zhao did more damage than everybody on the blue team except Zig. Like, that is actually ridiculous.
That's a lot of damage.
You know what the shit is? Fucking ridiculous. Yeah. Okay, so guys, we're going to take a quick little intermission between these two games. Take a second, stretch out your hands, go refill up your sodas. There's like an old school movie. Enjoy this intermission, and we're gonna get into the rest of the series. Propsy Cup. We'll be right back. And welcome back, lovely viewers of the Prophecy Cup. After our little brief intermission, we're back here live with our quarterfinal matchup between the Bad Boys and the 5th-seeded Bad Boys and the 4th-seeded Sentinels. In our first two games, Bad Boys from the red side took very commanding leads where there were definitely standout players, it was good overall play from the teams as a whole that allowed them to dominate. And now as we find ourselves going into the third game, Bad Boys under the side selection, or Sentinels get the side selection. They're going to choose to take the red side this time. And Bad Boys have the blue side first pick going into this third game, looking to be able to close this out in a 3-0 sweep.
Yeah, and honestly, I just feel like everyone on the side of Bad Boys, except for the top lane, has been outskilling their respective opponent in their lane, or jungle, if you happen to be Kink or Treat. And Sentinels, I don't know what they can pull out here, because there's been nothing that's really stood out to me in games 1 or 2, like, yes, this is their hope. Like, it's just been more or less dominance from the side of the Bad Boys. So, granted, Sentinels could prove me wrong here. They could whip out some secret strat that somehow just brings back the miracle comeback that they so desperately need right now. We'll have to see.
Now turn pick and bans. They're gonna go for that Camille from first game because they don't know they can't get that. But then it's like, well, you don't want to let them get Xin Zhao either. They're in a really rough scenario for the pick and ban. And honestly, when you have people that have champion oceans like this, it really causes a problem in pick and bans. The way you have to go about it differently. Instead of trying to target players, you as your team have to have a whole team comp to deal with what your predicted picks are. Or you have to have a whole team comp, and instead of banning the champions that those players play, you have to ban what counters the team comp you want to run. Because you're not going to stop Juradius from just going from Xerath to Syndra to Yasuo to something else. Like, you can't spend all 5 bans on him and also leave Kink or Treat to pick what he wants. And also let T-Crank get Sivir. Like, there's going to have to be some leeway somewhere. So you might as well just make the bans be against whatever team comp you want to pick.
For sure. And there's the Aatrox first pick for the side of the Bad Boys, and that just worked so good for them so far. There's the Urgot response though for here at the side of the Sentinels. We'll see if this is a repeat of that game 1 for game 1 of We saw J Radius just snowball like a monster on that Aatrox versus the Urgot in the mid lane, thanks to some pretty powerful ganks early by King Retreat. Camille is off the table, so we won't see a 1-for-1 creation. And there's a Zillion lockdown. Zillion is a rather interesting pick. He can go mid or support here. We'll have to see how that goes. I do know one semi-high elo friend of mine, he's like an avid Zillion support advocate. And he'll just go on and on and on about the pros of Zillion in the bot lane. And he does raise some valid points, like he does have that insane move. He does have a revive. He does have the potential to stun. So we'll have to see, but there is the Morgana lockdown for the side of Bad Boys. Had to do pretty well for them in that game.
Because I'm 18 and that's Zinjao gonna get locked in, and we're gonna see a lot of picks from the first 2 games just being allowed to rear the rugby hedge just in a slightly different combination.
And we saw how hard Kinko could Shinzao. He didn't have the same insane early game pressure that he did game 1. Like, but still, it was a pretty respectable force he had to deal with. I just see the Graves Shinzao matchup in the jungle again that we saw a lot of game work out too well for Piccolote. And it is going to be the mix-up to Jarvan.
Take some more pick. Jarvan the Force.
As we are getting into the second ban phase here, there's the Caitlyn taking off the table. I guess the Caitlyn did do pretty decently well into at least pre-loss chapter. I wouldn't say it was the defining, like, yes, this is why we lost. It was because T-Crank left and Caitlyn. But Caitlyn just happened to do pretty, I guess, it's an outshoved him early on. Then, of course, we just saw the Caitlyn.
So, both teams trying to save their AD carry picks for the end, and as a result, the last bit of pick and ban is used to whittle down at the AD carry pool. Kai'Sa's still available. Kai'Sa's still open.
But that could just be a Vygar bot lane for a Collinator if he decides to keep up the trend of mages in bot lane.
If he wants to run a mage again bot lane, Vygar would be an interesting choice of one, but would definitely definitely work with quelling the other AD carry.
And it is really interesting considering we are gonna look at. There's the Jhin for T-Crank.
Jhin, and then Zoe looks like might be the pick, or Twisted Fate, another Geradius special. Man, with the champion Pacific Ocean right here.
Well, going back to that Xerath that was so hard on last game. Xerath should do kind of okay into Vygar because he'll outrange the Vygar so hard, but if he ever walks in, calling it, or Pickaxe should instantly blow him up, unless it's going to be the pyramid.
And Victor locked in for Wii Shini or Pickaxe, one of the two. Everybody getting swapped around. Zillion Vagar, our bot lane, is what it looks like it's going to be.
Yeah.
Or Victor.
Was it a Victor bot?
Don't do it.
We saw Cloud9 pull this out, but Fnatic shut him down pretty hard. And just went weird flex, but okay. Alright, I'll hold off any comments until we hit the second. Okay, yeah, that makes a little more sense. It's gonna be the Victor top lane versus Aatrox. This is actually a hard counter. So White Sneeze should be able to snowball super hard.
Here we go. Here we go. Choose our loadout. So they're going for artillery barrage carries. Let me not say a full, but they're going for artillery from their carries. Jhin and Xerath, both very long range champions that can poke and whittle people away from a large distance with their ultimates. And then they have Xin Zhao and Aatrox to run it in. It's a great, across the field of battle, great spread and damage in terms of front-to-back fighting capability.
Yeah, but the thing is, Jin does not scale very well like games. He's only got those 4 bullets. So it's not like Caitlyn where it's like, yes, we hit 3 items. No, Jin is that 2-item wonder boy of AAC.
Jin, boy wonder.
Yeah, so... because if we do come to late game team fights, there isn't too much consistent damage from the side of Bad Boy. They won't be able to melt through the front line of Sentinels all that well, whereas Sentinels, they don't have the best frontline melting, but it's not like Bad Boys have the best.
Hey. You're cutting out a little bit?
I
I mean, yeah,
I don't know.
it's starting to happen and cutting off at the end of your sentences. It's cutting off. I don't know. It's a problem.
If needed to, I guess I could swap out for another caster.
Nah, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
It's just, it kind of happens at the end of your sentences. It kind of tilts me. But what doesn't, the cutting off, but what doesn't tilt me when it cuts off, because it never cuts off, is, gosh darn, I forgot I'm not logged in. I was trying to send the Into the AM link again to do some more shilling and say the Into the AM link doesn't cut off when you send it. And you shouldn't ever cut off the 4 letters for the P-Cut code to get yourself 10% off the Parisian clothing for you Night Owls. Some of their new arrivals, they have the Back to Earth men's tee, Going Places, Wavy, Into the AM, Surfer Style. So many different options that can help you looking fresh out in this world. They even got long sleeve stuff for those of you who live up north where it gets cold. So go to the store, make your decision, and then save yourself 10%. What's not to love?
I don't know. It kind of depends on the whole financial situation.
Prophecy Cup ain't got no broke boys. You see all the icy risks we have in our games on the Rift?
I don't know. I'm kind of low-key broke. Because I'm out there buying too much stuff, but
It's because T-Crank is embezzling the caster paychecks.
yeah. Would be nice if casters got paid, but hey. I mean, these are small leagues, and it's not like we're getting like 5-figure salary. Yeah, it's like, no, it's like people pay a small tourney fee, and we need that to pay the players and all that good stuff.
Unfortunately, casters, we
get paid in exposure, my dude.
Exactly. Hey man, eventually you'll move to the point where you get those paid offers, and it feels nice.
Yeah, hopefully.
That was where I knew I was moving up to the big boy leagues once I got those paid offers. Took over a year of casting Prophecy Cup before I got my first one, but you
What?
can go to
I haven't got a paid offer yet.
Oh.
Feels bad.
You'll get there, dude. Come on.
Eventually, though. I've been casting for like, what, 1.5 years, 2 years? I think 1.5 years. But hey, we got another pause.
We get to watch this. We get to watch this go on forever. The show for the minions.
Except they aren't moving is the problem.
Oh darn! I want to see some KDA booty shaking.
Booty, 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 rocking everywhere. Rocking everywhere.
So somebody maybe in chat can explain, but what's essentially the lore? Because Ari already had a K-pop. Oh gosh, that is very loud. She already had a K-pop skin. She had pop star Ari. Because I have that skin. What's the deal with this new skin of hers? That's like, did she like shed that old personality and she formed a group to dance even more seductively?
Oh lord. They have a Zyricon duo figure in the merch store, I just found out.
Yeah, to chat is exploding.
Welcome to Summer's Rift.
First ever duo variant. $45 already. Oof.
Everybody.
Because they
Oof.
dropped $70 in the Ash figure, and apparently there's a Jinx figure coming out soon that's gonna be like $60. Hey, we gotta
There's gonna be a Morgana
From the
binding
side
coming out
of
right here.
the
She
boys.
flashes forward and forces that flash out of our boy Collinator.
flash for flash, but that's a Vargar who doesn't have any natural escapes. Kinkertreat probably eyeing him up. Maybe licking his lips if he's feeling a little fancy, but hey.
Minions have spawned.
Zillion speeding off right here. They're gonna just walk in a lane, and I'm really curious how this Zillion Veigar is. Obviously, it's a poke-oriented lane, but it seems almost cheesy at this point. The amount of poke you're gonna have to get for this to work.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be a lot of poke. Especially if you're running this double AP buff, you kind of have to make that work, but... If a single bind lands from Collinator is in huge trouble, because there's going to be an immediate coming out for Frank.
100%, they're gonna.
100%.
100%. I remember that was one where I remember when I was living in Central America. I went to order from somewhere. I was buying shoes. No, I was buying clothes, and the guy was trying to get me at the end to like buy one pair of shoes, get 50% off the second pair. And I guess the word like 50%, like I couldn't understand because I understood everything else. He was saying buy shoes, and I was like, no, I already have shoes right here. And he was like trying to show me with sign language. Our broken pointy talkie did not work too well. And then I just, like an American, I got out my phone. I was like, we're gonna get this done.
We're gonna get this bread, boys.
And then I was like, oh, fuck no. Y'all already robbed me for like, I think I spent like 80, 90 bucks in that store. I was like, y'all aren't getting any more from me. This isn't even my full outfit. Nice little
There's the bind, but the Deadly Force already dead.
But the cage selfish memo. Putting the shield on himself to walk through. That's the support I like to see right there.
Yep. I mean, there wasn't too much follow-up from the side of Sentinels there.
No, it's still too early. They'll just throw another thing back. Jarvan's sitting under this tower. Looks like he wants to go for something, but he's gonna finish his recall and just let Wee Schnee poke on a Joe Sidon more.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, here we go.
Collinator is eating him so much damage there. That's the... It's like... Anytime Collinator wants to try something frisky with that cage, it's... Nope. Memo just drops that black shield. Denies any aggression.
Not able to land the damage, but he has the health advantage. He even has... T-Crank even has the Doran shield to help him survive the poke that does land on him. So definitely in a good spot in terms of sustaining and taking advantage of this lane. Nice from the Fog of War right there. Now they're going to go drop the ignites. Summoner spell ignite getting dropped along with the soil allows them to tick down and take his health, even through the summoner heal.
Yeah.
And that's not good.
Yeah, it's not what you want to see because the AP bot laners, their main strength usually is the fact that they spike earlier and have a better earlier game than the ADC picks. But if you fall behind like this early, it really hurts you on this AP pick because you tend to get outscaled. Granted, Veigar should technically outscale the Jhin. I mean, granted, it's just because...
Uh-oh, going forward on this gank right here. Top side, no mana, no flash, nothing but death right here for Wee Schnee. Biting off a little bit too more than he can chew in the lane. Here we go, Pickaxe walking forward, gunning down, gratata, but not too much to actually...
But still, that kill, also going over to Joe Sidon, keep in mind, Victor's a kill, but if Joe Sidon's able to get rolling, Victor Top does terrible from behind. Victor Top wants to snowball. He wants to get a lead. He wants to kill some kills. If you're dying as top Victor, that's probably not conducive to your gameplay.
Morgana running forward with them Mobies, putting down damage, and they're the bullies. They're the ones bringing the poke now in this lane, and this bottom lane, cheese lane as I call it, is starting to see its weaknesses come through.
Because Vigar Zillion is technically an interesting bot lane combo, because Vigar can throw down that cage, and then they either have the choice of running into the stun or just being set up for a rather easy double bomb from Zillion. But if you just keep eating up these free trades from T-Crank like this, not what you want. And then Weichni, he's gonna be in danger of a dive here. There's the World Ender.
Pain right here, the World Ender indeed. Doing all he can to run. The ulti being dropped right here, but Aatrox is the one taking towers. Gonna have the resurrection coming through. It's all but inevitable that Weichni goes down. Those filet mignons doing their part in the fight, and their auto attacks coming through to help end them.
The
two deaths back to back.
Not to mention the minion autos helping out there. And this balling just is not working out for the side of Sentinels. We said they had to make some huge improvement this game previous too, but every lane is just losing right now.
It's not going well at all in any facet. Hopefully this can change some things. Flashing through the stun right there, Geradius. Q coming out, they're going to flash forward. Urgot kind of trying to land the Fear Beyond Death. Way too far south, and now the ulti coming out. Lands one, almost lands the second one to kill him, but not enough, unfortunately.
Yeah, Pickaxe might have survived that, albeit with 30-ish health. I don't feel like that's... Or the third one would have killed there, but I digress. J Radius gonna be just looking to push out here. He has no mana. He has half a hour. That'd be the wise thing. Drops down the Honor 4 ward? Oh no, that's the Honor 3 ward, I think. Hey, but here's Kinker.
Honorable players. Jin ulti coming through. Needs to land some bullets. 2! Able to finish him off. T-Crank. And now look here, Joe Sidon going real hard on the Weichni. Doesn't want to finish that all the way. Doesn't have another jump to get it done. But definitely going to force him out of lane.
Yeah, and there's the bind landing.
Bind. The poke.
And another bind. It's just taking him down to half health. That's the power of this Jin Morgana lane. Is being able to root him for so long at that kind of range and then just get all chip damage is just really hard for a lot.
He's level... Okay, he just hit 5, I was about to say, but he is really... He was level 4. He's like being poked so hard every time he's in lane. And Memo over here messing with them in the jungle certainly doesn't help either. As Jin gets to recall, buy some items. Kinker Treat gets to get this dragon relatively unnoticed, untouched. Just building up advantages more and more across the lane. And we're just seeing this absolute team dominance, not even individual lane play being the big thing here.
Yeah. Honestly, it's already 2,000 gold, or 2,500 gold lead.
There we go, doing his best to run. Joe Sidon getting chased down right here. Popping the ulti to create that fear, and he's able to make himself enough distance to not go down.
Oh, Lord. Just saying. Gotta be really appreciating this Ocean Dragon. This harass he's taking. Drops down a ward, spots a control ward, and a ghost ward. Gonna get himself a nice little 31 gold. Just troubles.
Ghost wards are great.
Oof, missing is unfortunate.
CS leads in all the lanes, all the roles. even the support has a CS lead for the side of Bad Boys. Before this gets absolutely out of control, because it is about a 2.5K gold lead at 10 minutes, where do Sentinels find themselves fighting back into this game? Where do they find this ground to try and give themselves a convincing fight back and potentially pick up a game 3 win?
I don't know, because they have to start winning these lanes. But it's just the Urgot mid. I don't like that too much into the Xerath because like the Xerath can just use the range out, just poke the ever loving hell out of. Because one of Urgot's strengths is that he's able to get in your face and just gun you down. But one of the ways to counterplay Urgot, at least in the lane, that's why you'll see like Lissandra or Rise picked into, is that you can't just outrange him and just constantly stay out of that range. Sure, you won't win the lane, but you don't get hit up by that as the hits
two. Uh-oh. Well, in the binding, they're going to wait. Ah, he didn't do it in time.
The Soul Shackles are still available for a man though.
But the nuke coming in, Colin here picking up a real quick kill onto that support. And now T-Crank has slain, or T-Crank slays him right back to avenge his support. But still, good little pickup for him right there.
Yeah, and hey, at least the farm is relatively even in the mid lane, but things are not going too hot in the other lane.
Yeah, it's not going too hot. Victor down 2-0, falling more and more behind in CS. He's trying so hard with the mana right here. They go for a nice little gank. Geradius flashes away, and now they're set back up for a turnaround, and Piccolo ulti coming through. Zinjao looks like he wants to keep going, might even go under the tower, fighting through the minions. Morgana putting soil down, putting the damage they need.
Yeah, and this looks like this tower's going to be falling here. It's going to be first tower mid lane, usually both pretty bad for the team that wants it, because mid lane outer is of course the most important outer. Arguably one of the most important turrets in the game. It just opens up so much of the map once you take that down. Because now with that down, Rift Herald becomes so much easier to take. Future Dragons become so much easier to take for the side of the bad boy tier. And it just takes away that much safety from the Sentinels who need all the safety they can get.
Uh, 6-1. First tower being got here at 13 minutes. Jin running through the lane, or running through the 6 with his woes. Morgana running around at hyperspeed with those Moby boots. Below that. Word. I always wondered why we call them boots when those are the ones that look most like sandals.
I don't know. I mean, this is the same game where ranged AD carry mark a bunch of swords to amplify their damage.
Yeah, that's a good point. They made it realistic. I don't think full metal jackets exist in their reality. Here we go, getting gunned down. Xerath caught in the middle, bumps himself right into the cage. Pickaxe picking up that kill with the help of Veigar. That was unlucky. Unfortunate.
Unfort, my dude.
He was like, oh guys, I got this. If I go high enough, I'll get over the cage. But alas, ladies and gentlemen, League of Legends does not have a Z axis. So if you cannot just go over abilities, if it's there, doesn't matter how high in the ground you are, you will still get hit by it. So good attempt, close but no cigar.
Yeah, and something to miss on that bind from them. As 2-0-1 Jin already, Stormrazor already has an magic man.
But just top lane putting some damage down. Victor onto Joe's side, and looks like he wants to keep chasing with this kill right here as the Q. But now he wants to turn because he knows Victor's out of damage. Gonna have the resurrection coming through for him. Look for this fight. Victor puts down the W. Now he's flashing away. One last Q auto gets it done. We sneak picking up a much needed kill in the top lane.
Through my work, you shall transcend.
Bliss.
Yeah, and a bit of vision clearing coming out from my boy Memo. Heroically clears out the ward there. Good on him.
Smile. Everyone is watching.
Blue team has slain the dragon.
Dragon getting picked up by the blue team right here.
Yeah, and that's another ocean. for the
Another
side.
fight busting out. Geradius. All the artillery being called in right here. The mortars and the Hauseters. As the double kill gets picked up. Morgana flashing after with a little bit of auto. With a little bitty auto. Pickaxe right here is going to take another person down with him. It's a 2 for 3 right there. But the dragon did in fact go in favor of the bad boys. Second ocean dragon for them.
Yeah. And the second ocean is going to be very nice on TJ Radius here because Xerath, he loves poking. He loves spamming his abilities up cooldown, which naturally costs a lot of mana. But if you have an ocean, or even 2 oceans, you're just constantly regenerating all that mana. Constantly spam out and get all this poke down you want, which he will absolutely love against the Sentinels have. Weichneek gonna eat a bind here.
Here we go. Pulling him back in. He's trying to run. But he's able to he is able to run. My mistake. Kill score evened up a little bit in 9-5 to find themselves a little bit of gold, but they really need to get towers. Although getting a kill on Morgana may help them with that. Putting so much damage that they blast right through her shield and straight into the 0 on her health bar. So getting themselves some ground back, definitely helpful. Vagar getting some alone time on this bottom side. Push down and get this, hopefully get a tower.
Yeah, and I'll have to see how that pans out because it is currently a 3,500 gold lead for here, and all the people you want kills on right now have kills. Although you could argue you'd rather have those 2 kills on Memo onto Kanker Treat and Josiah in here, but that's a small nitpick. Scheme of things.
Nice. Rift Herald getting slain right there and picked up by Xin Zhao, the purple fury in his hands. So now more tower taking power with him. And as he gets some wards up here into the top side, he has some versatility in terms of which lane he wants to use this on.
Yeah.
But on the side of Sentinels, they're not going to let it just happen. They're finally starting to fight back in these fights. Urgot feeling that swagger in his step. Victor realized he can take these fights like this one right now. Weichneek getting a beautiful ulti. Everybody getting caught in the middle. Now the Jarvan Cataclysm grinded up right there. Pickaxe on a rampage. Double kill. Xerath trying to get a piece of this from the side, but not honestly able to do all too much, but just throw some poke in. And 2 more kills picked up for the Urgot, padding his pockets even more. Xerath flashing back. Icy wrist right here. Can he body block it? He can't body block the Q. And Geradius is going to go down. Shut down right there in favor of the boy Pickaxe. And he's now the big man of this game. We were talking about what they need to do winning the lanes. And Geradius, or Pickaxe, was able to do that over Geradius. And now he himself is the big man on campus.
Yeah, and Pickaxe is this one beacon of light for Sentinels right now, really helping them keep in this game. So this is going to be a bit of a long road, because I do feel like Sentinels comp won't do as well late game compared to the composition for Bad Boys. So it is still a bit of a road for them to climb, but they do have a chance.
Anything's possible, man. Come on. They're only down 2K. Honestly, they can get themselves some towers. 100% doable.
Yeah.
Although they don't necessarily have the best tower taking team, especially against what they're playing against. They kind of have to win a team fight first if they want to try and take any towers. Because Jin and Xerath just don't let the minions even make it halfway up to the tower. As evidenced by the fact no tower on this. No tower in this game has lost more on the blue team side has lost more than like 75% of its health, or 25%. It's still at 75% of its health.
75%.
They're all really high health.
We do have a lot of people coming in bot lane, though. Keep in mind, just Sidon has teleport, whereas Weixin almost off cooldown. There's the curtain call coming out from the team.
Jin ulti right here. The artillery barrage called in again. Really just trying to clear some space off this tower. Not able to land all too much of it, but they're still going to look for this tower nonetheless. Red turret destroyed on the bottom side with the help of Shelly. She's going to lead the charge for them onto these minions. And they're just going to keep going 4-on-4. Both top laner, or correction. The blue team top laner has his up, and now the red team top laner should get it any second now. If they want to look to start a fight, this would be the time to do it. In this like 5-10 second window. I don't know if they know it exists. It looks like it's not going to happen. They're just going to get the tower, retreat back, and get themselves this dragon in the next 20 seconds and wrap it up.
That will be the third dragon of the game, and keep in mind this will be an Infernal.
Uh-oh, going on to him hard. Getting the kill in this jungle would definitely help with stopping the team's dragon potential. Bobbing and weaving. Morgana putting the soul shackles down, gonna just make him walk away, and he's perfectly fine with that trade, especially since he didn't use, or he did shoot Fear Beyond Death, he just missed.
Yeah.
He got the Morgana ulti out, which is pretty big for this fight.
And Dragon's already being started on. Taken out fairly low. We'll have to see how...
He's gonna blast over, he has the next level up, but he's not able to get there in time. Now he's gonna pay the price. Geradius looking like he wants to go a part of this fight. Joe Sidon jumping in, going on to the jungler, getting him even lower and lower. Trying to find just something to pick up this fight. Joe Sidon has slain Piccolo, going back over the wall with the rest of his low health teammates. Veigar flashing with the ulti to finish him off. Throwing one last auto from Zillion, the speed up double kill for the Veigar. 3 for 1 in this team fight, and now that they've gotten some of those key members of the team in the team fight, they can look to open up, and here comes the artillery yet again, barraging down this mid lane. Forcing the resurrection onto Urgot, just missing the stun right there. Ooh, and it feels bad. He still used the cleanse, but just missing that stun.
That's a great team fight window for the side of the Sentinels here, managing to get those kills. There's now 4 kills onto Colonnade and an Infernal. Veigar is one of the better AP mages to make use of the Infernal, just due to how much free AP he gets. It's pretty natural for Veigar to hit 1000 AP just naturally if you go long enough. But now with the Infernal, that's going to crank it up even higher.
Infernal cranking up the numbers, giving our boy Urgot more potential. He definitely has enough damage. He has good damage right now. He's gotten himself really tanky. I want to see him pick up another damage item next, though. Help supplement as people get tankier and tankier on the other side. Which actually... Now think about it, they're not going to be getting too much tankier either, though. Everybody on this blue team really is just looking to be damage threats.
For sure. Not to mention, Pickaxe is kind of more or less the solo attack damage threat on this team. Piccolote going for that Juggernaut enchantment, or Cinderhulk, not Juggernaut enchantment, which means he won't really be doing too much damage. Typically, you'll see some Jarvans go like Cinderhulk Cleaver or even Warrior Cleaver just so they can get a little bit of damage. But Piccolote opting for a very full-on tank build with this Jarvan won't be doing a lot of damage, just mostly just there to knock up some people and then trap them in his Cataclysm.
Cataclysm, Jarvan becoming a definitely utilitarian. Here we go, jumping onto our boy Wei Shni, trying to run up to Jarvan, who's speeding his way down. Gets a beautiful right there Cataclysm to help slice people up. Kinker Treat gonna go down right here, as well as Joe Sidon. The turnaround from Wei Shni and Piccolo right there. A lot of damage coming out. 3 for 5, and they have the power play on the map to keep it going. They're gonna get the knock up in the Colonnade Rampage with the ulti onto T-Crank. Now this just leaves Geradius and Nemo to fight off in the middle lane. They can seriously make some ground right here. They can look to get this tower. Honestly, I'm surprised they didn't make the run for Baron.
And then it was very crucial to sign Game 3. We're finally starting to see a lot of life come out of the Sentinels comp. The previous 2 games were kind of just big washout, being honest here. first part of game 2, but this is what they need. They finally pull themselves to a small lead. They have the Infernal to back them up. They got 2 of those outer turrets down. So things are at least looking good for them. But they do have to be careful because it's a rather small goal they have over the Bad Boys right now. And the Bad Boys, they still have kills on J Radius and T Crank, which are going to be the 2 big boys that they want to. Not to mention Joe Simon.
Yeah, Joe Sidon, while he does do damage, he is a very squishy target. And gets beat on very quickly since he has to throw himself so far into fray to be effective in fights. King or Treat doing his best right here to set his team up. Baron looking like the next spicy objective for both of these teams, as the outer rings of towers are majority down as soon as Victor can get this bottom one. Here we go, getting trapped in the cage. Ulti coming through a little early, the shield coming through, and now the damage is going to come on a Collinator. They're going to try and wait it out, put him inside the middle, ult onto him, wait out the Zillion ulti, and now they're going to get him as soon as it falls. Now, with the people spread across the map, they can't look for a fight. Another person getting hit by the artillery barrage coming out of T-Crank. Going forward, Joe Sidon's going to just scare people off like a dog growling his teeth. And with that, they're going to single off Jarvan, kill him. And now the tides have turned yet again in this ever-flipping, ebbing and flowing game of League of Legends. Except this time, Bad Boys are going to know to make the call and start up this Baron match.
And with no jungler in the NXT and the to just heal practically all the damage they received last fight, this Baron should go down relatively uncontested. CJ Radius on the other side just running distraction duties, and the Sentinels know they do gotta try and at least contest them.
Uh-oh, flashing away, trying to do his best. Victor finished him off. They're going to contest after the Baron's already been picked up. See how many members of this team they can eliminate in the pit. Zillion throwing bombs left and right, doing his best to give support in the middle of the fray, and now Victor's made his way over, and they don't want to fight him with Victor mixed in. A little low on the health right there. Pickaxe is going to have to back off after only getting Radius. But still, Baron for one, definitely the trade Bad Boys is fine taking.
Definitely a trade you'll always take. There is another dragon spawning here. Jiffy. It will be another ocean dragon. Having an ocean dragon versus this Baron Siege will be pretty nice for the side of the Sentinels. Just being able to have more mana to clear, not to mention more health to eat up more poke from J Radius is going to be very nice. But it does look like the Bad Boys have something to say about it.
Gonna go onto this tower or dragon right here. Blue team gonna jump in and steal away the dragon right there, scaring them off. Triple ocean now for them, but the fight may be what happens afterwards. Absolute nuking from Collinator. Blue team still looking like they want to take this fight. A lot of damage coming out. Jarvan with the Cataclysm jumping in to fight the jungler right here. Bob and Weave and Collinator is gonna quick slays Collinator. Now the slaying happens. Victor onto the Xin Zhao, chasing forward under this tower. They want more blood. They can taste it on their lips. As they're running around the tower, Victor just runs straight through it, flipping in, get the nice little flip onto Joe Sidon as he flashed away. Opening up right here, Radius trying to do his best, and now here we go, opening up his shots. Jin gets 3. Who's the fourth one going to land onto? Tries to hit it onto Victor. He's not successful. They're going to decide they want to back off as they see these Baron minions and realize they went a little too deep in between the towers, and this fight's going to end as a 2-for-2.
This is vitally killing some of the Baron buff, though. It's already halfway through for the side of the Bad Boys here. So they're going to have to really just rush it down some lane to try and get something out of this. To just be an economy Baron. But with the 3 oceans now on the side of the Bad Boys, it practically means that everyone on their side has a pseudo Warmogs. If you don't kill them, they'll just heal back to full, basically.
Yeah. Which their team doesn't necessarily have a problem doing, killing people. Is the problem they can't do it. I feel it's the problem they can't do it consistently. Like, these teams are as even without the Baron, not counting the Baron, of course, or even counting the Baron. These teams are about as even as they've been all series. I can see most of these fights going either way. Honestly, Pickaxe is an absolute madman with Weishni behind him, bringing all that crowd control. Jarvan locking people up, but on the other side, T-Crank and Jaradius just press their ultis and beat down on people from such a far distance. So before the fight even starts, it's not a fair and even fight. Not to mention Kinker Treat and Joe Sidon, the dive buddies. these fights are really, really even. It's coming down to these teams being able to make single focus and eliminate targets one at a time to try and win these fights. As they're going to choose to make the target this time onto the boy Liquid and Force, although the CC is going to come through due to the Veigar cage and hold some people up. But rooting onto Pickaxe, not going to ream too much, and the teams are just going to back off in their respective directions after we see Zillion get bullied like the old man he is.
Thing is, Pickaxe is just opting
there it is, opening up. The ulti's calling down this mid lane, scaring everybody off so they can get themselves this mid inner tower.
Thing is, though, is that T-Crank, he's just opting for a full tank build after his Cleaver, which means he'll stay alive and keep his bounty at
hits. They want to go for another fight. I'm sorry to cut you off, but shutdown has happened finally onto Wishni, and they're going under this tower. Darvin doing his best to run, picking up a kill on the way out. Wishni fell, but they're still in the base right here, and they're going to look to get this mid inhib tower and possibly even the inhibitor. Bad Boys taking control of this game, finally deciding they wanted to bust it wide open. They said enough of this even ebb and flow, teeter-totter stuff. We're the Bad Boys. We're going to take this game. And they get themselves 2 mid towers as well as the inhibitor to set themselves up with a 4K goal lead here at 31.5 minutes.
Yeah. They did manage to crack open the base and inhib, which is what they wanted to do with Baron buff. Sure, it's over now, but they got their money's worth out of the Baron, even if it did happen. But even with all that said, it's still only a 4K gold lead for the side of the Bad Boys. We're talking 32 minutes into the game. A 4K gold lead will be, like, mildly noticeable at least.
So I made a point in chat, some interesting build paths that we haven't really talked about itemization of these players too much. Darvin built a Cinderhulk, and he just now bought a Ruby Crystal as his first health item.
Oh yeah, that's He's only got 2,300 health, borderline 2,400.
Like, he definitely isn't lacking in resistances, but you bought a health item, buddy. You need to get health to go with that. At least that's how it works in League of Legends in my neighborhood.
Yeah. There's the little bit of BM coming up from J-Ray after getting slowed up.
Zera's showing off his dance moves, yeah.
Just casually breaking his arm open. Although I guess he's like floating rock energy. He doesn't necessarily break his...
Twin Shadows, man. I wish they had the thing where they would come back and you would get the cooldown back if they didn't find anyone.
Oh yeah,
I know it was
they
OP.
had that for a while.
Triple Ocean starting to come in for our boy T-Crank, like you mentioned, the pseudo Warmogs. Ridiculous the healing he gets after he gets a little bit of poke from Collinator and Liquid and Force. It's like, in the end, it doesn't even matter. Baron gonna be up in sub 30 seconds though.
Oh, you see the Banshee's completed here for Liquid and Force. Just having to itemize a little bit of defensiveness here, just so he can survive. Because we saw in lane all the times where he'd eat a bind, and then there's a deadly floor, which just keeps him rooted in there. It eats a lot of damage. Just maybe having that one extra spell of life will go a long way. Speaking of bind into Jinru,
they're trying to weave these shots back to radius binds one on the back line. And that's actually a huge part of their team fight, taking away that revive. So it essentially takes these fights from being 6v5 to now it's a 4v5. Turret still being taken out on the bottom side, but they're fine with getting this Infernal Dragon, and now get themselves a 4th dragon here at 34.5 minutes, and now make the run up to Baron Nashor.
man, things are a bit of an oof right now for the side of the Sentinels, because they had life in this game. It was being a minor comeback. It's just ever since then, they just haven't had luck. Now the second Baron going over to the side of Bad Boys here when they already have an inhib down. This should be somewhat of a death sentence for the side of the Sentinels if the I don't know, the gold lead is still...
It's only 4K still. It closed up a little bit, and now it's widened back up to about this 4K. But sometimes gold doesn't tell the whole story. Looking at the map and how it's going, Bad Boys are in control.
Yeah.
Six on 5. Still hasn't died yet this game.
Yeah, but the thing is, he doesn't have any more damage beyond that black. So he's just purely relying on bases here. I feel like Pickaxe wants like a second bruiser item just to help supplement this. Or no, Urgot is ranged, so I don't think he can...
Yeah, that's why I was like, fuck, never mind.
Yeah, like, if he wants, he could go for a Maw or a Guardian Angel here if he needs some more resist.
A Maw or GA? GA, I feel like GA would be great with it to synergize with the Zillion. Give yourself 3 lives in team fights.
Yeah.
Unfuckwithable. Here we go. Speed up with the absolute Reeboks running forward. Going up to our boy Gerard. He's going to drop the ult. He doesn't have the flash to get away. They're going to grind him up into bits and pieces and fear away 2 members of the team. And may have found themselves something they want to go for. Xin Zhao being separated from the rest of his team. Looks like he's going to get a kill, but the resurrection coming through. We're going to have our boy Collinator staying alive. Some shots coming in from the side on Cheek Rank. They're going to chase Xin Zhao through the jungle and really just delay out this team's Baron and take away that push potential. Or even possibly look to reinitiate this fight. Getting sent airborne right there. Piccolo, low on health, but his team is still there with more than enough swagger to step forward and try and get themselves this mid lane inner turret. Xin Zhao already healed back up on this bottom side, looking to make a push though.
Yeah, even though Piccolote has all these resists, just... He doesn't really have too much health to back.
Poseidon pulling him back in with the battlefield. Bombs right here. Weeb Schnee just blasting through Memo's health bar right there. Jeez Louise. Jesus Christ, it's good, man.
Cheese.
Like some good. I'm really upset they didn't kill Kinkatry. The fact they let him heal all the way back up.
Yeah, I mean, that's triple ocean for you. Like I said, if you don't kill them, they're back to...
It's insane in the membrane.
And there's still the Baron buff on the side of the boys here. If they want to try and push the last little bit of those Baron chips. Granted, there's like, what, 20% left max?
Truly is.
So, Baron number 2. We talked about it earlier in the stage. We're like, Baron pretty much decides who wins the game. And normally that would be right. But when it's game 3 and the script writers of Prophecy Cup give you that extra buff, normal game conditions don't apply. It's less than a 4K gold lead at 38 minutes. Honestly, this game is still, as we've seen from how these team fights, they can speed up Jarvan and pick off anybody that they want and make these uneven fights. And then that kind of, especially if it's on a Geradius or T-Crank, that takes away the artillery barrage combination, which takes away a lot of their power.
Mm-hmm. But now, Nyx Dragon is going to beat that Elder Dragon. With 4 buffs on the side of the boys here, they can just look to pile drive that and instantly win any fight. Because 4 buffs along with the Elder buff is absolutely insane.
He goes. Morgana's going to be the target. They drop the Cataclysm. She flashes away from everything, but she can only stay alive for so long. She's going to be the one picked off. They're going to wait this out. Should be able to even save the Fear Beyond Death, and that's a real easy pick to a real vulnerable support. They're trying to pick onto somebody with this little ravishing combination, but it honestly isn't able to find anybody. Gets Rishni a little low, but it's not enough.
A little low. Get some hella low.
Nah, if anything above, it's like Yu-Gi-Oh! If it's not 1 in 7,999 life points, it's the same. They didn't kill him, but they are going to be able to get this kill possibly on a Vhagar or even on a Jarvan autocam jumping back and forth, not knowing who might die.
Oh,
yeah, no. That was a Yu-Gi-Oh! Situation. If you're not at 0, then it doesn't matter. Because they don't have anything else to follow up it with. 3-2. There must have been a misclick.
There's the cleanse coming out from Pickaxe. But hey, there's one advantage of all is he doesn't take damage at all from poke of J Radius. And now he's finally itemizing a little bit of damage, going for a Mercurial Scimitar. That gives him like what, 45-ish 80, I believe. Add that on top of like 40 80 from Cleaver. Means he is heavily relying.
Uh-oh, here we go. He might finally fall down. Fight gonna bust out for this Elder Dragon, not letting this go uncontested. Jarvan grouping 3 people up the Cataclysm. He's gonna be set to revive. And this fight has bad written all over it for the side of the Sentinels. Jarvan gonna go down first. A huge stun right there from Veigar, but they don't have the damage to follow up in the capacity that they want to. Gonna put himself in the middle of the fray. Gonna have the ulti on him to cause the revive. They don't want to kill him just yet. They finally knock him down anyway. Collinator slain, kick retreat. Here we go on the backside. 3 members have fallen. Victor doing his best to kill under Geradius. Chasing through these bushes. Can he get the kill? He gets the zap. Chasing him down. Can he fight off this support? Triple kill for T-Crank as just Wee Schnee is left alive. And that is a 4 for 3 right there to stop the Elder Dragon from getting picked up for now. But they let it heal a little. Yeah, they get a little healing from Ocean Dragon. Like you mentioned, Pseudo Warmog, clear off these wards. Victor doesn't have the TP just yet, and they might be able to pick this up. 2 people, solo dolo. It's gonna take them a long ass time.
Yeah, I mean, they're taking it decently quickly. As Elder Dragon, it used to be almost impossible to take, because there's like this one thing where it's like for each dragon you take, the Elder Dragon takes some damage from you.
Might be able to get here.
He should be able to get there, it's just...
Gonna go drop the ulti right here.
There's a lot of damage.
You get a lot of damage. Morgana hits the binding, and that pretty much solidifies his death. But she might die to Elder. One more roar of his fiery breath, and now Piccolo has picked it up. And holy cannoli, did Wishni just set this up? Yes, he did. The Elder Dragon has been stolen by the side of Sentinels. Ladies and gentlemen, this is peak Prophecy Cup script writing right here. Shout out to Escapist and Rimsky for giving us this, because this game is just getting better and better as the minutes pass.
Better and better indeed, and granted they only have that one in front to amplify, but that'll set them up nicely for this Dragon Cup. I'm sure the mana down right now.
3rd Baron. They know people are scattered all around the map. They got to make a call. Do they want to go for this? Because they can't get just sitting, get poked down in the pit. They have Elder, which means they should definitely look for the fight. And it looks like the fight, so it's going to be what's looked into them. In the middle of the team, getting flipped back, Josidon trying to cause some miss-him. Wee Schnee on the bottom side getting bullied around. Who's going to go down first? It might be Wee Schnee. He's trying to get killed and get resurrected. It looks like it's going to happen. Here we go. Josidon has fallen. 4v5 is now the situation. We have a lot of low, medium health bars. T-Crank going forward, going to flash and dominate. Get the kill that's been needed for oh so long. The second kill that's been needed on a Pickaxe. Now it's a 1-for-1 top laner for mid. But Pickaxe has so much of the gold, and now the control of Baron is in favor of Bad Boys.
Game is just so topsy-turvy.
Half health.
Thing is,
still alive.
They have to happen quickly. Look at that wave in the mid lane. Wave.
Don't just give it up, but it gets to God anyway. Here we go. 4v4 in this Baron pit. Jungler gonna go down college. Nader onto Geradius, doing everything he can, but he's smacking back and forth with that staff, and Zinjiao's an absolute monster, chasing down Liquid and Force. You can't do anything to stop him, Veigar, except put this cage. You might be able to kill him. You will kill him, but it doesn't matter, because now at this point, his team's gotten the Baron, and while only one person had it, the fact that they took that from you just means you guys can't have it, and we get more in an even longer, drawn-out game. T-Crank, the only remaining member of the side of Bad Boys, has to watch as his mid lane inner turret falls, and pretty sure he's going to see his inhib tower fall too, or he might just lose his life.
Thing is, pushing the Baron buff is actually hard for the side of the Sentinels. Just AP damage does not do well into Baron buff minions.
Does not. Feels bad.
Minions do get spooked by Josidon pressing that ulti button.
Real high IQ play right there to help save the tower. This is kind of unfortunate though. The fight, I feel like the fight shouldn't have went that even with the freaking what's that thing called? Considering the fact they had Elder, like I get it was only a 1 dragon Elder Dragon, but still that's Elder Dragon still, like good choice of the fight, I suppose, from Bad Boys to choose to fight onto who they fought to and reinitiating when they did, so that way they would help to keep the fight relatively even and be a 4-for-3. Coming up on 45 and a half minutes. This game is still so even.
And there's still a little bit of Baron buff juice left on the side of the boys here. And they can look to try and take this mid lane inhib. If they're able to get that, that is pretty big. Just have that large window of time where there's the Predator pop, though, by our boy Piccolote.
T-Crank's about 2/3 of the way through his Baron buff, so he still has, I want to say, about a minute. Baron gets longer each subsequent Baron, correct?
No. It does give you more HP.
Okay.
After the first one.
Okay,
They did the same thing for Elder Dragon, where it gets damage if he for the second one.
Yeah, it starts to double.
Because Riot was like, we want games to finish quicker.
Well, doesn't matter what Riot wants to do. When we have people like T-Crank getting out the belt, putting on the backpack, where you have people like Trunk or Treat going right here on a Collinator, he nukes him and tells him bad Xinjiao for trying to fight onto me. And now the fight is on, seeing Joe Sidon get flipped in the middle of the team, jumping forward, look for this 4v5, the resurrection coming through. Zillion, oh so valuable with that ultimate ability. People kiting back and forth. Resurrection coming through with the Guardian Angel, it looks like, or something. Shoot, I don't even know anymore. 5v4 on the map, killing off the jungler just buys more time, but it can't buy them any ground on the map. It just stalls out on push from the side of Bad Boys.
But... Oh, Bind actually... Or T-Crank gonna need a bomb for his troubles. But this mid lane inhib is still untouched. Okay, right as I say that, we see it. Auto land on him. They need to be quick about this, though. Look at Pickaxe on the side.
Here we go. TP getting canceled very quickly by Weeshni, realizing he does not want to int.
And boys, they have to be quick about this, because keep in mind that, oh, hey, speak of that.
Uh-oh, here we go. Xerath getting the kill, finally onto Vagar, 65 minutes in, chase around the backside, get the kill on the T-Crank. Now he's going to run for the fear of his life. Getting hit by Geradius right there. He's now taking down 2 members of the team. It's what's called 3v4 on the map so far. Nuke coming out on the side. And now that just leaves Urgot, Zillion, and Jarvan. Has to bob and weave and not die right here. They're going to get the inhib in the 3v4 healing up on the map, but they've already lost their inhib at this point, and there's a humongous wave on the bottom side that they can look to try and get themselves a second tower and an inhib. So
yeah,
30 seconds on the closest member of their team.
But the thing is, that inhibitor going down is so crucial in the game as back and forth is... You now have that advantage of that 6th player always pushing them. And now with the second inhib down bot lane, that's also huge. Boys will have to back and respond to that top wave though, since that is getting pretty darn huge.
Top lane pushing, oh yeah, top lane for the red team pushing in their favor. As Collinator's finally going to stand back up in his Summoner Fountain, he got absolutely ravished by Geradius. Like, that man, he doesn't have the book full of all the pages like he did last time, but he has 755 AP. 755. Insane in the freaking membrane.
Insane in the membrane. Insane in the brain. Good song.
And both global objectives are going to be coming up within about 30 seconds of each other. It's going to be a small window where Dragon is up and Baron isn't, but the teams seem to put their focus onto that Elder because they know that's what's going to win them the team fights. Running forward, going to get hit by the Morgana binding and very anticlimactic.
And keep in mind, even though there's only one Dragon on the side of the Sentinels here, the fact that they got that previous Elder Dragon makes it so that this Elder Dragon is actually pretty deep. Just due to how getting multiple. So both teams are going to have to heavily prioritize that.
Push through these lanes. Now we have 15 seconds. We should see the Dragon flapping across the map and laying himself down in the pit pretty soon. full builds out of pretty much everybody. So honestly, these gold leads don't really mean anything. It just comes down to what's your chance and what they can do in a scenario like this where you're fighting in the jungle. And in the mighty jungle, the artillery rains down. Jarvan grouping everybody into this cataclysm means all this AoE from Victor can do so much to the team, but the AoE from the other team does so much. Liquid in fourth has slain Memo. So far it's a 1-for-1 in this fight early on. Get the stun out of our boy Liquid in fourth. Geradius popping onto that Victor. 4 for 3 right here means they can start up this Infernal, or this Elder Dragon, excuse me, and they have to just honestly give this up. Health bar is way too low on their side, so they can't contest this. Zillion not able to revive anybody. Vhagar not able to get his ult off and get an execute on anybody. Means that the side of Bad Boys are going to get this, and then they're going to make the call to run right up to Baron.
Yeah, and just look at the health bars. They're already back up to full. Now a 4.5 worth of Ocean's Region on their side. The Bad Boys, they don't give a damn about any damage they take.
No. Fourth Baron of the game. Jeez Louise, I feel like I'm back in Season 3 where we have like 6-7 Barons a game. They're just going to let this happen. They have to save their base from the minions. First, you don't succeed. Grab a fourth Baron.
Hey, maybe this will be the straw that breaks the camel's back, but could have been saying that all game. And
Exactly, like...
But now, with 2 inhibitors downed, and the Elder, and a Baron, it should be game for the boys.
But that's not how our scripts work. Right here is the moment where somebody like closes their eyes, goes into like Rock Lee in the tuning exams, and they let loose with everything they have. They win this game, and then like Rock Lee in fashion, they get 20 minutes stomped in game 4. That's the way it needs to go.
Yeah.
Chat coming up with new insults, you fucking hand breather. I love it. People aren't even paying attention to this game until they hear me start yelling into the mic. Artillery combination getting opened up yet again, just pounding the barrage down people's throats, choosing which target they want, and this time it's gonna be onto that Vhagar. His health, I actually can't even see it. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay, he healed up. 3 in his down. They should be coming up soon in the mid. Mid lane is about a minute left, less than that. But Bad Boys are looking to close this out right here. They're going to have to put together an absolute monster of a fight if they want to try and do something. Sentinels, but we've seen them do it before. The question is, can they do it right now when it matters the most? Mid inhib looks like it wants to come back up, but they're already going to be right there to take it back down. Poke coming in between these minions, each back and forth between Geradius, and now the mid inhibitor stands. As soon as the health bar's back, though, it goes right back down. Clinker Treat finishing that off. Fight almost inevitable at this point. I can smell it on my lips. The question is, who's going to be the one to get it started? As they just keep the poke going, somebody's going to have to make the call to either press the go button on the side of Sentinels, or they're going to have to release that artillery combination and poke them down. Second inhib coming back up on the bottom side, and as soon as the health bar pops up, it's going to go right back down as Geradius destroys this. Jarvan dashing forward like he wants to fight. Zindao jumping forward again, going to pop the ulti like he wants something. Scare people away, have that radius around him. But they're just going to get this inhib and let the minions slowly but surely close in. Pickaxe trying to go through those base gates. Pounding coming in from Geradius, and now here comes T-Crank opening it up. They look like they want to make their target the Vhagar, getting pulled back. Piccolote being bullied onto, a lot of damage onto Joe Sidon, but it's not enough to make a difference as the base is getting ravished, absolutely slammed on by these super filet mignons. They've gotten one turret, they've gotten the second one. This is where the go button gets pressed. 3 people grouped up with the Cataclysm right here. Laser going through a whole bunch of people, one getting pulled back. One person's already down on the side of the blue team. Xin Zhao has fallen. We're seeing Wei Shni go down right after that. And now we see the AD carry Vhagar going down. They're fighting for their lives, 2 for 2. Already falling this fight. Can he get one more person for the auto? He can't. Joe Sidon is down Piccolote. And as we see, 3 for 3. The minions are still pounding on the base. Liquid and Fortress running around. He has to find something, but he can't find anything except his Nexus exploding on the wrong side of the fight. The super minion just too much, even in the even fight, that it's a GG coming out. Bad Boys, after pushing their way through the first 2 games, convincingly taken to their absolute limits. But nonetheless, they come out with the decisive 3-0 and push their way onto the semifinals versus Yeehaw 5.
Yeah, and 3-0. Sentinels, they finally almost brought it back in that last game, but sadly not enough. Crumbling under the might of The fourth Baron, not to mention a Elder.
I need to breathe after that. Holy cannoli.
Absolute unit of a game at just shy of 55.
Absolutely insane game. Well fought from both teams. Sentinels feels bad, man. You guys played so well in that third game. Pushing double upset quarters, somebody said. Yeah, the lower seeds winning both of their matches. Gonna have some interesting second rounds, but talking about this game, oh my goodness, 55 minutes, 4 Barons, 2 Elders. Sentinels did not want to give up that game, despite that combo of Xerath and Jin being absolutely disgusting on a range. When they were able to get in on those fights, being able to pop that Righteous Glory and then get the speed up from Zillion, they could run down pretty much anybody. And if Morgana wasn't there to to throw the binding out, somebody died. I saw them use that a couple times on a Xerath or Jin, and it was really effective. And they found what worked for them, which is what I really like.
Mm-hmm. And props to the bad boys. 3-0, honestly. Who should we interview? Chat, do you have any ideas?
Does Chat have any prefer? I want to see the artillery combo, but we want to show some love to some of the off rolls, of course.
Also, you can't nominate yourself, by the way, chat. So
as we watch, some people saying Jared.
I don't know who Jared is, but I'll take that he's a swell flaw.
That's Charlie Smells Geradius.
Oh, cool.
I suggest the 80% win rate Diamond 4 mid later. Okay.
Oh, hello.
Howdy go.
Me tank.
Hello.
There we go.
Wait, Manny?
It's
Hello,
me.
Dave.
God, my heart is. Oh, God.
Oh my
Ooh,
god.
that game 3 was so intense.
Ice in my
Jesus.
veins, bro. I ain't worried. I ain't worried.
So
Actually,
how did
I was a little worried.
Oh my gosh.
Games 1 and 2.
That was one of the hardest games I've ever played.
That was, oh my gosh. That was probably some of the best. That was actually good macro, which for Prophecy Cup is something I don't think I've said in the year and a half I've been with this organization.
Yeah.
Holy
To win
fuck.
for Sentinels, you really need to have clean macro because they play so much wave clear. It
Yeah,
makes it
that
super
was. They're a good ass team. They really are.
So
Shout out to Karaoke Machine. That guy's a
we'll get to the third game
beast.
because we can talk all day about that one. The first 2 games, you guys just kind of like had your way with them inappropriately and took absolute control. Picking bans, they did not go in their favor at all. They were just absolute team dominance games from you guys. Really clean stuff. I liked what I saw. It was just like clean as clean, man.
Yeah, I think our drafts too were really adaptable, and I think that's something that elevated our game today for sure.
Shout out to our
Decisions.
coach T Crank.
Lol.
Wait, the coach isn't risky anymore? Oh no.
I'm just a player. I'm just one of us.
Feels bad, man.
Ooh man, what a game! I gotta pause my music. Holy shit!
I'm still like sitting here. Chat was talking about it like I'm breathing into my hand to make sure reality is still real. Oh my goodness. You saw that new insult they came up with?
My
what?
my hands are freezing.
They came up new solo queue insult calling people fucking hand breathers.
Hand
What?
breathers. I don't really get it.
But oh my gosh, that was first 2 games really clean, great pick and ban from you guys. Left it. There was so much flex potential going through. We're like, wait, so Camille could be jungle, but Jay Beezus also plays a lot of Camille, and then Geradius is Geradius, so we don't really know where this is going. So we're just gonna wait.
Yeah, game 1's draft is probably the best. I think that I had a lot of fun in that draft phase because it was like they were like, "Oh, we're gonna have double flex solo laners," and then we're like, "Oh, we're gonna have triple flex solo laners."
Yeet.
That's like the definition right there of freaking that's the definition of winning in pick and ban right there.
And they
So
gave me Sivir.
Siver comp just group and win.
And they gave me Lissandra.
Dab.
Omega lol. Tank player, by the way.
Whew.
Oh, good job in those first 2 games. Now going in, oh gosh, the Romsky pet is so high level. Going into our third game. Our third game. It took 4 Barons throughout that game. The first 2 you guys got pretty well, but looking into that third Baron, that's where we started to be like, Sentinels might actually have a chance. They started that Baron. You guys were able to turn the fight around and able to pick that up. I think everybody but you died after that Baron, T-Crank. You were the only one pretty much left alive. And they were able to actually push towards you guys' base. And honestly, we were in chat. We were like, Sentinels, like, this is their moment right here. T-Crank's the only thing left alive, but you decided to go a little man mode after that. So talk us through.
I canceled my auto on the Vigar, and I almost just like inted. That was really sad. But if I actually got to auto him, he would have just died. He would have been dead, 100%. But yeah, I survived, and then I guess that's how we kept the game rolling. That was scary.
Yeah, if you had went down in that fight, game 100% would have been over at like 38 minutes, 40 minutes. But you stayed alive, kept fighting strong. And then 4th Baron came after that Elder fight. That was seriously like some freaking like World War II hunker down in a bunker type stuff right there.
Yeah.
Opening up that combo.
Yeah, we realized, hey, we haven't been winning so hard on Xerath, but Jareth is like freaking amazing at it. So we decided, start pairing it up with these 80 carries, and I think it really amplifies how strong Xerath is and how strong Jared is with this extra long range damage on like a generic Caitlyn.
Disgusting.
And yes, I said it wasn't a good pick, but I see you, Jared. I see you. I'm not discrediting that.
All right, so
Bunker hunker. I like it.
the bunker hunker, that's what it's called. But so you guys won that game. Third game, honestly, could have went either way with so many little itty bitty decisions that can't really be held against anybody due to the heat of the moment and the infamous Jensen handshake. But you guys won. Now you guys are preparing to go against the team that's like the evil league of evil, freaking all these previous champions united together to bring themselves to like a super team almost.
I'm sorry. I'm super tired. What'd you say?
I said you guys are going against like the super villain league, the Suicide Squad of Prophecy Cup, with 4 of their 5 members being previous Prophecy Cup champions.
I'm down. I'm ready to play Rashiha. But Sad Boys and Vortex, they're going to be good opponents too, and I'm excited to see that one.
Predictions?
You know what? Bad Boys are taking it home. This is the season of Bad Boys. What can I say?
Bold.
Bad Boys versus Sad Boys. Vortex gets 4th. It's just how it works.
Bad Boys, Sad Boys finals. All
Bad
righty
Boys,
then.
Sad Boys would be funny. That'd be super easy to cast too.
Blake is like the one good guy in a team of like bad guys.
Well, Zed's a good guy.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, they got the Kentucky brother and they got Blake, and it's just like
The rest of them.
You know what? I'm okay with the credit too. It's just Nahor and Kiyoshi, the supervillains of the league.
Yeah.
Mimo's a better player than Nahor.
Oh,
Wait, yeah, Puff is a good guy. He's always been a good guy. Come on. Real wholesome. Freaking Kiyoshi, though, just brings so much evil to the rest of the team. Blake is like the kid that just kind of got mixed in with the wrong cow. He was really smart, and like the drug dealers of the school saw that, so they made him their friends. So that way, when they got caught,
math.
yeah, T-Crank. No, but when they got caught, they'd like look at that kid and they're like, "These kids aren't doing shit. Look at that kid with glasses in the backseat."
How many
That's
ounces
Blake.
in a pound?
Good shit. Appreciate you guys coming on up. Good luck in your games next week, and dab.
Let's go.
Thanks for the interview. Appreciate it.
No problem, man.
Thanks for doing everything, Escapist. You're the man.
Yeah, shout out to Escapist, best producer
Yeah,
in Prophecy Cuff.
big brain producing right there. Always smooth when he's on it. Love you.
All right, good night, guys.
Right,
Good
homies.
night, lads.
I have my new job tomorrow. I start at first day.
Yeehaw!
More like bad boys.
Are we done
it's-
Gaston or?
Yeah, good games, fellas. Thanks for the cast and everything. Appreciate it, y'all.
No problem.
Hell yeah.
Be updated by tomorrow. If not, definitely Tuesday. You'll be able to check on the schedule, and we'll also announce them in the announcements chat. I want to thank everybody. A lot of people have left, but we were about 50 viewers during the peak of that last game. So good stuff, bringing in the views. I want to thank everybody that tuned in. I want to thank Eno for casting with me. I want to thank Escapist. I want to thank the council. And most importantly, I want to thank my mama, because she's a great woman. Thank you all that tuned in for the
Thank you to our
night.
troops.
Wait, we can't. Let's not go down that path.
Hell yeah.
Nah, the troops. This is what I get paid to do, low key. All my paycheck just goes into casting. But seriously, thank everybody that tuned in. My name is Manny or Sunny. This has been the Prophecy Cup. Stay classy.
I'm headed to the bottom of the bottle. I've been drowning, I've been floating away. Every other dollar that I got in bed, I probably went and it away. I ain't f***ing okay. I ain't liking it day. I don't even wanna talk. I'm just smoking my haze. I've been stuck in my ways. I've been stuck in for days. I've been staring at the clock as the radio plays. I'm enslaved. Yeah, rolling another, I'm stuck in my seat for the whole control of my speech. Yeah, I've been trying to get off this couch for a minute and a whole damn week. No kidding, I'm skinny, I cannot eat. Got a million that depend on me. Yeah, every friend in my family, from a girl, every fan I meet myself. I'm too on till I'm too off. Come down to make new thoughts, like jumping off of that rooftop. Hold my camera when I do nothing to make moves based on my mood drops. Like who's lost? Like who's lost? It's yo, steadily killing me, running my brain full of shame. I don't wanna lose it. Full of stage, trying to find my pain. See the sun coming out of that rain. Mind ain't really not tame. I'ma never slow down. I'ma never behave. Stuck inside this prison, inside this cage. It's taking over. Yeah, I'm a slave for you. Slave for you. Whipping harder, more less. Never stop, no rest. Till the stress is breath in my chest. Till it's diamonds wrapping my neck. Progress to a god from a god mess. Hopeless, more tests. More blessed. Dug deep down, trying to find my best. Find a beast, had to kill a conquest. I'm next. I'm too on till I'm too off. Come down, make new thoughts. Like jumping off of that rooftop. Hold my camera when I do nothing to make moves based on my mood drops. Like who's lost? Like who's lost? It's yo, steadily killing me, running my brain full of shame. I don't wanna lose it. Full of stage, trying to find my pain. See the sun coming out of